Thank you, Jono. Right on cue, the team's making their way out of the tunnel here at the Vitality Stadium. Today, one of the new marketing initiatives are these little flags, almost like golf towels. Small rectangular red flags with Red Army written on them. The supporters are waving above their head. I say supporters, about half the supporters are waving above their head. John Williams nearly taking my head off by doing the same next to me as the two teams line up in front of us. Well, 2 or 3 weeks ago, this would have been an absolute relegation humdinger, but the Cherries' form has taken them away from immediate danger. 36 points is where they currently sit. That might be enough, but a win today absolutely seals it. Again, for the mathematical geniuses like Einstein, Gary O'Neill and John Williams, they won't be happy until it is mathematically impossible for them to go down. But a win today certainly will keep the Cherries in the Premier League next season for absolute sure. Leeds, meanwhile, visiting here for the first time since 2014, a team that Bournemouth have a bit of history with going back to the 1990s as well. They are only 1 point clear of the drop zone, which is Leicester City. Leicester are playing Everton on Monday night, which is going to be an absolute stonker of a game down the bottom. So today a big chance for both these teams, with the likes of West Ham, Nottingham Forest having already missed the opportunity over the last couple of days to take some points. The headline team news for the Cherries shows 2 changes, 2 hamstring victims from Thursday night. We knew about Marcus Tavernier, who unfortunately limped off in that game. Cherries hopeful of having him back before the end of the season. Chris Mepham sitting this one out, having felt a bit of an issue with his hamstring, and the tight Thursday to Sunday turnaround means that he isn't risked today. So Adam Smith and Dongo Watara come in. Cherries have Neto in goal, Adam Smith, Marcos Zanesi, Lloyd Kelly and Matthias Vigna, a new look back 4, with Kelly reverting to centre half, of course, having played at left back in a 4-man defence, and Matthias Vigna we haven't seen starting at left back yet, only at wing back. The midfield 4 were Tara, Rothwell, Lerma and Christie, and then Billing just behind Dom Solanke. The Cherries bench is Travers, Cook, Brooks, Stevens returns after being ineligible, Stacey, Moore, Semenyo, Zabani and Anthony. As for Leeds, they make 3 changes to their midweek draw at home to Leicester. Sinistera will miss the rest of the season. Firpo and their top scorer Rodrigo are rotated out. They have Meslier in goal, Ayling, Koch, Cooper and Christensen the defenders, Mark Rocker and Weston McKennie the 2 sitters. Ahead of them, Somerville, Harrison and Gnonto, and then Patrick Bamford leads their line. Their subs are Robles the keeper, Firpo, Forshaw, Greenwood, Aronson, Rodrigo, Strauch, Ruta and Verba. Cherries, red and black stripes, black shorts, red socks, will kick from left to right in this first half. Leeds in their traditional colours of all white. And as we spoke about earlier on, John Williams, in the afternoon, this could have been a real nervy afternoon for the Cherries, but they've done quite a bit of the hard work to move themselves away from some of those nerves.
Yeah, and thank goodness it's not. You know, bad enough for them. Listen, we need to go into this one like it's just as important to the last 3 wins. You know, I think today we could take an awful lot of pressure off the point system by getting 3, but I'm looking forward to seeing us with some of the football we played at Southampton was quite good. And if you could be critical of one thing, it's probably the fact that we didn't win by more.
Great reverberation of Red Army inspired by the Cherries. Late great support to Noni via the PA system and the big screen here. Sunday afternoon live with BBC Radio Solent, one of 2 commentaries. This one also available on your smart speaker today, as our referee Chris Kavanagh gets us underway. He's in a blue top, last seen in a Cherries game when he played the extra added time for Arsenal to score that 3-2 winner at the Emirates Stadium. Lloyd Kelly at the heart of the defence, plays it up towards that left-hand side. Ryan Christie has started out on the left, and Dongo Watara back on the right, as the ball played down the right-hand side early on for Leeds here. Somerville plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. Good run forward from the centre of midfield, played by McKennie. Picked up again by Somerville out on that right-hand side. Then Ayling, halfway inside the Cherries half of the field. The Leeds away end is absolutely packed with the full 1,400 allocation from West Yorkshire. Down the left-hand side, Harrison for Leeds. Towards the byline, holds it up, comes back to the left-hand side, and Gnonto once again. And now Liam Cooper, their captain, forward from the centre of defence. Leeds have not been in good form under their manager Javi Gracia, who came in to succeed Jesse Marsh in February. Marsh, of course, the architect of the 4-3 comeback victory from Leeds at Ellen Road back before the World Cup, when the Cherries were 3-1 up and managed to lose 4-3. If you're looking for Newcastle against Southampton, which has also just kicked off, you can find that on our Hampshire frequencies. Digital radio across the county, also 96.1 FM and Freeview 722. We're also available on your smart speaker today as Solanke is tugged back on the halfway line by Robin Koch, and a free kick to the Cherries right of the centre circle.
Yeah, nice little clip around the corner from Phil Bill. Dominic's shirt obviously pulled there, the referee right on top of it.
It looks like Leeds are going with 3 centre-backs. It was one option they could have played. Looks like Cooper, Koch and Christensen are 3 centre-backs, and Ayling and Harrison as the wing-backs for them. So a change in system for Javi Garcia today, the former Watford manager, who hasn't beaten Bournemouth in 3 previous Premier League attempts. As Smith down this right-hand side for the Cherries, looking for Solanke inside right channel, again firmly coming to grips with Robin Koch, and cleared away by the American international Weston McKennie up over the halfway line, and it goes all the way back through to Neto, defending the goal away to our left. The Cherries captured, who just got Jefferson Lerma on the stretch with that ball forward up towards the halfway line. Christie immediately closed down. I guess we have to ask the question, well, what you think the loss of Tavernier does to the Cherries' attacking ranks today?
Well, if he put the same sort of performance than he did against Southampton, then you know you're going to miss that sort of player, aren't you? But hopefully it's not as bad as we thought. Always worries me though, when hamstrings, nightmare things.
Yeah, he's had a lot of bad luck with hamstrings this season, as Phil Billing draws the applause of the home supporters around us by blocking out that clearance from Liam Cooper down underneath us, and it's a Leeds throw on this near left-hand side as they kick from right to left, all in white, as I say. Their fans directly opposite us on the far side. 3 minutes gone, Bournemouth 0, Leeds 0. After thinking about it for a while, Harrison then leaves the throw to Liam Cooper down this near left-hand side. Smith then's got his arms all round Bamford, but the referee Kavanagh decides to wave that one away, and Bournemouth will try and play it out from the back. That was a very poor ball from Lerma, and it's picked up by Somerville, edge of the area. Bamford coming in right-hand side. The shouts against Vigna as he got back there. Leeds animatedly gesturing towards the referee Chris Kavanagh. It was right on the edge of the penalty area, and what's been given here, is it a penalty? It's been given as a penalty, I think, by Chris Kavanagh on the advice of his assistant for a handball by Vigna. Now, was that inside the box, Willow? He's definitely got his arm up, but it's questionable whether that's inside the penalty area. As we look at now at a replay, that's outside the box, Willow. I think VAR will be looking at that.
I hope they are.
It's given as a handball for Vigna, struck it in from close range, but to the replay I've just seen, Willow, that looked to have hit him outside the penalty area. They're checking it now. It's definitely outside the box, 100% outside the box. So this, I think, is going to be a free kick on the edge of the penalty area.
VAR check in progress, possible penalty for handball.
So they're checking this one. It's been given on the field, by the way. Chris Kavanagh has given the penalty, but now it's been checked by VAR, and it's a free kick outside the penalty area. That's the correct decision.
It is a great, and we've got away with it, but that was self-inflicted. There was no need for us to be messing around with the ball where it was. It wasn't even a positive pass into somebody's feet. I'm not sure it was Fredericks or Lerma who gave the ball away. It was one of them two.
It's really interesting, that VAR process there, Willow, because that's having given the penalty initially, it then can be reviewed. If it was given as a free kick outside the penalty area, I wonder whether, I don't know what the review process is for that. Can that then be checked? Can free kicks be checked? I'm not sure. Anyway,
what are we doing?
The good news is,
we used to know all the rules.
I know. The good news is they're showing a replay on the screen now that's I mean, he's 2 yards outside the penalty area, Willow, and that's hit him.
Yeah.
But the free kick here to Leeds, as I say, 2 yards outside the right side of the D. 5 minutes gone, and the free kick being lined up here for Leeds by Jack Harrison. So Cherries getting their set-piece opportunity to defend here. They line the draft excluder down behind the wall. In fact, Mark Rocker is taken over the set-piece.
He won't get it up and over, so he's got to go for power.
Yeah, Neto's arranged his wall. All the big men are in it. Kelly and Billing in the centre of it. Solanke's in there as well. You're right though, Willow, it came from a poor Lerma pass to cause this position. Mark Rocker, left-footed, straight at Neto, who beats it away. Saw it through a crowd. Rocker did go for power. Cleared to the edge of the box by the Cherries. Harrison clips it towards the penalty spot, headed away by Kelly. Leeds keeping their foot on the throttle here. Jack Harrison halfway inside the Cherries half of the field. Out to the left-hand side, and Nonto. So some early drama in the game. It remains 0-0 with nearly 6 minutes played, as Cherries have a penalty overturned, having had a VAR decision go in their favour in the last minute against Southampton on Thursday, and correctly then as well, by the way. Yeah, this one correctly overturned.
Leeds the first to land a punch, should we say?
I'm quite surprised the assistant referee, Willow, didn't initially be able to see it was outside the box. It wasn't that close.
He's not keen-eyed as you.
Anyway, that's why we check these things, to get ultimately to the right decision. Ball on the halfway line. No goals here. No goals between Newcastle and Southampton. 2 other games at 2 o'clock. Fulham against Man City and Man United against Villa in the chase for Europe as well. 4:30. Liverpool against Tottenham. Man City have already gone 1 up at Fulham through Haaland. And then tomorrow, Leicester-Everton is huge at the bottom, as Bournemouth just playing it around at the back at the moment. And Neto, I think, underestimated how quick Somerville was there, because he was absolutely on him. And
I'm glad he's gone down. I know he's not injured. I know they're just trying to break it up. Any chance of us livening up?
Ouattara is, who's gone down. And this is
Look,
again,
no wonder he's getting them over.
Again, I mean, Ryan Christie went down after 10 minutes at Southampton. Ouattara literally just sat down on the halfway line here, and Gary O'Neill immediately called Joe Rothwell and Adam Smith over to him.
Really, honestly, that is so sloppy, the way we've once given the free kick away, and this one, the goalkeeper's nearly got blocked out.
Well, you're right about that, Willow. Neto, we know he likes to use every available yard, but I think Somerville was suddenly right under his nose.
It was a bouncer coming towards him. I know it's on the pitches are fantastic now, but you don't want to bounce in front of you.
Just seen a replay, by the way, that Rocker free kick. That was actually a really good save from Neto, because it came through a sea of bodies at pace. It was relatively close to him, but he managed to get a powerful parry behind it. Dongo Ouattara has made a miraculous recovery from that injury he picked up after 5 minutes of the game with no one near him, and having, I don't think, touched the ball so far. Takes a bit to get injured without touching the ball, doesn't it, Willow? Anyway, he's not back on yet.
Get out of jail pass.
He's back on now. He's just been briefed by Mathieu Baudry, the translator down there, as the Leeds have it on the left-hand side. Harrison slips as he tries to play that ball into the penalty area, and the ball is back to Neto, and Gary O'Neill he's waving Neto up the field, but then Neto decides to hang on to it and just allow his team to get organised. So most of the first half has been played in the left-hand half of the field as we look, which is the attacking the Bournemouth goal.
And us trying to give the ball back to Leeds as quick as possible.
0-0 on BBC Radio Solent, 8 minutes played, as Adam Smith releases the Cherries down this right-hand side, but Koch above Solanke there to win the header. It's going to run loose in the centre of midfield, but actually it's been
I know this rule.
If
it hits the referee, it's the last team with the ball.
Yep, that's what happened there. Chris Kavanagh was unfortunately in the way. So he will return the ball here to Mark Rocker of Leeds. Dom Solanke has to take his leave, and Leeds have it back with their goalkeeper Ilan Meslier defending the goal away to our right in black today. Out to the right side it goes, and Christensen, who clears it down that far right touchline again, looking for Somerville in a race with Lloyd Kelly over there. Kelly's going to try and usher the ball out for a goal kick, which he's managed to do. Somerville's pace, Willow, is already stretching the Cherries down that flank. Yeah,
it'll be a good race with Kelly. He can run very fast.
Well, he scored the winner, did Crescencio Somerville, the Dutch winger, in that 4-3 against the Cherries back in November. Fireworks at Ellen Road on Bonfire Night, but not the kind of fireworks that the Cherries were hoping for, having been 3-1 up early in the second half. Neto again, not messing around today with the short balls at the back, he's just happy to get it forward.
About time.
And bearing in mind the Cherries haven't scored in their last 2 home defeats here, to Brighton and to West Ham. Definitely owe the fans a home performance, I think, after the brilliant form away from home. It's been a bit more difficult to get things fluid here as the ball's lofted up into the centre circle. Lerma wins the header there ahead of McKennie and knocked out to the left-hand side where Vigna was committed there up against Ayling, because he wasn't given a great ball there, Vigna.
No,
he was undersold.
Short ball.
Short to Lerma, into the feet of Christie now, 25 yards out. Solanke, Bournemouth getting going as an attacking force here, and they nearly threaded it through to Billing, and now the Cherries are again aggressively claiming for a sliding handball there by a Leeds player. His trailing arm as he made the challenge, nothing doing, as Vigna had a chance to play Solanke and Billing through. I think they would have been offside.
I think he was
if the ball had gone through to them, and then Ayling wins a very cheap free kick over on the far side in front of the Leeds fans. It remains 0-0. We've played 10 minutes.
A little bit better in the last 2 minutes or so. At least we got a couple of passes in. What a bad start.
Well, Leeds, as I say, 1 point clear of the drop going into this game today, so Leicester and Everton below them. We'll have a keen eye on this one. Nottingham Forest, of course, yesterday lost a lead at home to Brentford, away to Brentford. It was the first time Brentford had come from behind to win at half-time this season. Another handball shout over on the far. Is this basketball or football we're watching today, Willow?
That was an ironic shout, wasn't it?
Throw into the Cherries halfway inside their own half. It remains Bournemouth 0, Leeds 0. The voice alongside us is John Williams, the former Cherries defender and assistant manager, for those who might be tuning in, not regulars today. Maybe you're listening across the UK via your smart speaker on BBC Sounds. Over on the right-hand side rather, for Leeds, picked up by McKennie. Now it's the long-serving Luke Ayling. Back into McKennie again. Little 1-2. Somerville round the back here. Right-hand side into the penalty. Drives it into a crowd. Harrison on the volley. Into a cluster of players. And I think it was Smith who blocked it. And Watara who cleared it.
Well, we have just got to liven up 100%. It's all Leeds.
It is all Leeds at the moment. And they were lucky there. Cherries got enough black and red shirts back into their own penalty area to win the ball. And now the incredulity from Gary O'Neill down there as the assistant referee on this near side flags for a Leeds throw just over the halfway line after Watara had been tussling for it.
He's right, it was definitely our ball. It come off his... We were just watching that replay of the shot.
I don't know if it might hit Leeds' own player actually.
I think it did, he's a white shirt.
I think it did hit Bamford possibly. Smith was right there as well, but it was Harrison's volley and it would have been too easy. He caught it well. And Leeds clear it down the field, but that one's overhit and goes all the way through to Neto, the Cherries keeper. So not the Cherries' most positive start. We've seen some good starts this year, but this hasn't been one of them so far.
No, most definitely this. And Neto's slowing it down. I suggest we need to liven it up a bit.
This is Leeds' first visit, as I said, since September 2014. Leeds won 3-1 here, but Bournemouth went on to win the title in their championship season. That's the last time that Leeds visited. This is the first Premier League fixture here between the two, as they have it on the far side of the right now. Somerville driving towards the edge of the penalty area, still going. Somerville ran into traffic, fell over at the end as Bournemouth got enough red and black shirts round there. But again, the danger of the pace of Somerville causing problems. Long ball into the Cherries box, headed away by Senesi, only as far as Gnonto, then cleared away again by the Argentinian Senesi. Cooper halfway inside the Cherries half, tangles with Solanke. Now McKennie over there with Billing. Billing working hard. He didn't have one of his best games on Thursday night, Billing.
He was one of the quieter ones.
He was, and that long ball out to the left-hand side for Leeds is controlled by Harrison, put out by Watara. Leeds throw close to the corner flag, left-hand side. Bournemouth fans trying to do their bit here because they can sense that Bournemouth haven't started this game well. But at the moment it remains 0-0. If you're joining us late, two changes. Tavernier and Mepham out with hamstring problems today. Smith and Watara in. Leeds have already been awarded a penalty in the game for a handball by Vigna, which was overturned because it was outside the penalty area, and the resulting free kick was saved by Neto as Vigna has it left side of his own penalty area now. Lerma gets the man on shout from about 4,000 people in that far corner of the ground, and Ryan Christie dribbling his way down the left side, and he wins a free kick for the Cherries, short of halfway.
Yeah, fans got us that one on that far side. The referee had to give us something at some stage.
Manchester City's goal for Erling Haaland, by the way, equals the record for the most amount of goals in a season. 34 for Haaland, which is remarkable. Unbelievable, in fact. Leeds can equal a record, by the way, today, Willow. They've conceded 19 goals in April. The Premier League record for goals conceded in a single month is 20, held by Leeds. So they can equal their own record. It's not one they want to equal. Of course, they got done 5 and 6 at home, didn't they, by Liverpool and by Crystal Palace, which haven't contributed to those. They conceded 4 at Arsenal as well. 0-0 at the moment here. 15th minute. Penalised, Kelly penalised for a push over there on Bamford.
He's lucky there. Bamford was looking for a bit of contact. Didn't get it.
On ball over the top from the free kick from Leeds, and that's too strong, with Bamford having won the free kick on halfway line. The free kick that then played was aimed for Bamford, who was 30 yards out of position. Still getting up off the floor.
Playing out from the back again, I don't mind doing that, but make sure it's fast and make sure you don't give the ball away cheaply.
Well, interestingly, with Cherries playing it out from the back, they have got 2 left-footed centre-backs today, Kelly and Senesi, which means the natural sort of passing angles and body shape is different to if you had Mepham, the right-footer, playing it out to the right-hand side. Free kick for the Cherries there, given away by Christensen, halfway inside his own half.
Very scrappy, isn't it?
You're centre-back, Willow. I mean, having the 2 left-footers, when you are trying to play it out from the back, do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I understand
the direction you're looking.
Yeah, but you can adjust.
Yeah, we don't see often too many players switch onto their weaker foot voluntarily, as Senesi now immediately is again forced out to this near side by Adam Smith. It's positioned down the right hand side, defender slips and Watara might be away. Across comes Koch. It was Cooper who slipped down in front of us. Been a few players going down actually. Bit of rain this morning in the area. And even as I talk about slips, Ouattara there tried to take a throw in and the ball slipped out of his hand as well.
It slipped out the back. I've seen that done before.
Luckily for him, there was a tentative inquiry from Mark Rocker of Leeds as to whether it was a foul throw, but it hadn't gone behind his head and it didn't come into the centre of play. Smith plays a 1-2 with Phil Billings' crown jewels, and the ball up towards halfway where Senesi and Bamford again are coming together. Phil Billing is still feeling the effects of that involuntary Adam Smith 1-2.
Well done that. Not nice.
Not in a 1-2 often, is it?
Well,
Six, I think we better move on from that.
Usually lands when you're least expecting it.
16 and a half gone. Here's Ouattara down the right hand side now, fed by the ball by Lerma, in beyond his fullback. Solanke trying to get into the area. Ouattara onto his left foot, shooting opportunity here for Ouattara. It's blocked by the sprawling Cooper, and then the volley at the back post was spectacular in the end from Matthias Vigna, who got himself forward and behind for a goal kick.
Well, first real bit of excitement. Ouattara just chopping back onto his left foot. I think it was a shot but got blocked, and Christie tried the spectacular volley.
Fulham have equalised against Manchester City. Carlos Vinicius has equalised there, so is there a title race twist to come there? Arsenal don't play until Tuesday. They play Chelsea, who Bournemouth are gunning for in the table as well now. We'll go level on points with Chelsea with a win today. Chelsea to come here on Saturday. That game was supposed to be yesterday, Arsenal Chelsea, but it was moved on police request to Tuesday night. So that's why there wasn't a 5:30 game in the Premier League yesterday, because that was supposed to be it. 17 and a half gone here. Bournemouth 0, Leeds 0. Rothwell for the Cherries. Haven't mentioned him so much in the early stages, but Smith now down the right side to Billing, just outside the right corner of the penalty area. Still Billing goes up against Cooper. Harrison tracking back, does well Harrison, and then Billing unfortunately can't control it under pressure, out for a Leeds throw.
Yeah, it was Smithy took that right in his stride. It was a real firm ball from Rothwell. Great stuff. Great passing.
Just seeing a shot in the crowd of Marcus Tavernier dressed in his civvies, along with Junior Stanislas and Hamid Traore and Chris Mepham all sat in a line. Jeff Mostyn, Cherries club ambassador as well, sat just in front of those players on our monitor. Former chairman, of course, as the ball is down this left-hand side from Leeds once again. Bill Foley is here, by the way, today, the Cherries chairman and majority owner. Took in 3 games this week. Written the programme notes as well today. Cherries get a throw-in down underneath us. He's missing some of the playoff action for his NHL team, Vegas Golden Knights, to be here, as Ouattara is caught in possession inside the Cherries half of the field. Now Senesi and Rothwell and Smith playing it around crisply right in front of the Leeds dugout down there, and then Senesi showing some excellent creativity to dance around Nonso and then knocked it to the right to Billing. That cross is deflected in the end from Billing and into the hands of Meslier, but some fancy footwork from Marcos Senesi.
Yeah, got his dancing feet on there. Great work.
Again, some bravery, right out of position on your wrong side, down on this right hand side as a left footer, dribbling round 3.
I think when they see him on the ball, they know he's going to go into one a little bit. I've seen it a few times now.
Rasmus Christensen launches it long down the right hand side for Leeds, flicked on by Bamford towards Somerville, right corner of the penalty area. Some room for Patrick Bamford here, tries to place it with his left foot. Awkward one for Neto, bounced just in front of him, but he adjusted well and got it at the second attempt, and he bowls it out to this right hand side on Ouattara, who's got a lot of space up to the halfway line. Dongo Ouattara, infield it goes to Rothwell now, infield to the centre circle, and Ryan Christie. Both Rothwell and Christie have had a quiet start to this game.
Well, there's not many who have shone really.
Kelly's long diagonal down the middle for Billing, who wins the header, lays it off for Dom Solanke, tries to go around the outside of his man, still going Dom Solanke, looks to pull it back to Phil Billing. Magnificent block from Cooper. Here comes Lerma on his right foot. Oh, Jefferson Lerma places an absolute perler into the right hand side of the goal, and just shy of the 20-minute mark, Leeds will feel hard done by. Bournemouth will not care. Another step towards the safety line provided by Jefferson Lerma's brilliant finish. Bournemouth 1, Leeds 0.
Well, what a finish it was. He had to move his body to get the shape right for him to curl it into that top left-hand corner. You have to say it's against the run of play, but we'll take it. It's happened to us in reverse many times this season. Great finish.
It's his 3rd goal of the season. Jefferson Lerma, it was nicely built up, came from Lloyd Kelly's diagonal down the middle. Billing with a little header. Solanke again showing his sort of newfound confidence, wriggling around 3 Leeds defenders, and when he set it back for Billing, the shot was blocked and it ran loose to Lerma. And as you say, Willow, he really had to get round the ball. It was spinning the wrong way for him, left of the D.
Well, I thought it was going left foot to start with, but then no way, he's not going to strike it with his left foot.
But yeah, you're right, I thought the same. He was approaching it with his left. Crowd have just seen a replay on the screen of it as well. Brilliant finish from Jefferson Lerma. And we talk about games, Willow, where you haven't been in it, but you still take your opportunities. Bournemouth haven't really had a chance, notably, in the game.
No, not at all.
Even that one you'd probably only say was a half.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd analysed the performance up to then, Leeds were definitely the better team.
So Bournemouth have the lead. They've only beaten Leeds once in 14 matches in all competitions. That was back in 2014 as well. It's the first goal at home since the Fulham game.
What a cracker.
The last 6 home goals have been scored by 6 different players, by the way. Solanke, Tavernier, Billing, Lerma, Senesi and Antony. I wouldn't have said Lerma would have been the one to break that sequence with 2 of those last 7 goals, but he is. And he'll be inspired by that, I'm sure. Another one whose future is unclear. Out of contract in the summer, of course. Senesi with the ball down the right-hand side for the Cherries. Ouattara trying to nip in. Leeds all stood and watched it. Ouattara pulls it back to the edge of the area. Billing will try and keep it alive. Cherries have got options there. Vigna, 25 yards out. His shot at goal. Slipped as he did so. Still got it on target, but straight at Meslier.
Well, Vigna, he likes a little strike, does he? Got hold of it really well. Quite a way out. Must have been 25 yards out almost.
I think he's just seen Jefferson Lerma ping one in and thought, oh,
yeah,
I
why
fancy
not?
a bit of that, yeah. Goal machine Vigna. There's a firm challenge on the far side there, going in between Rocker and Christie, which left the Scotsman on the deck, but play continues. Senesi and Bamford getting all tangled up, but it's the El Gladiator of Cherries who brings it away down the left-hand side. Vigna, little flick on, and Marcos Senesi's away down the left-hand side now. Billing getting himself into the penalty here. Senesi drives it in just too high for Billing. Half cleared by Harrison. Out to the right side of the box. Here's Ouattara for the Cherries. Little step over, goes past Harrison and wins a corner on this right-hand side. Started down the left by the Cherries South American pair, Vigna and Senesi.
Well, Senesi, what a ball. Surely somebody's... He's dissected the goalkeeper and the back 4. Somebody's got to get a red shirt on that.
A few of those small red towels. They do have a name which I've forgotten, the towels that they've
Bar
sent.
towels.
But they're not bar towels. The ones that have been laid out for the fans today, there are people waving them in the Ted McDougall South Stand. Bournemouth leading by a goal to 0 here at the Vitality Stadium. We're in the 24th minute. Ryan Christie preparing this corner for the Cherries on the near right-hand side. 2 in the 6-yard box. Runners coming from deep. In from Christie. Solanke was coming in. He's Lerma again! It's 2 for Jefferson Lerma! It broke to him on the 6-yard line, and he hammered it on the half volley into the roof of the net. And can you believe it? Jefferson Lerma's not a hat-trick. Bournemouth 2, Leeds 0.
Well, the goalkeeper will be having nightmares about that one. Slipped through his fingers. Jeff had an awful lot to do. He caught it right on the half volley. Sometimes they can, if you don't catch them right, they can fly out the ground, but not this time. He took the roof of the net off. What a fantastic strike and what a fantastic finish.
Well, the corner from Christie, as it came in initially, it was flapped at by Meslier, the keeper, and Jefferson Lerma. I mean, I've got to say, Willow, down the years we've been quite critical sometimes of his choices. His shots can go anywhere.
It did cross my mind as it was rising.
But a man who's already scored one, the net nearly came off the hinges.
Great
as
strike.
He absolutely cracked it in. I don't think the goalkeeper's covered himself in glory there, Willow. He flapped at it with 2 hands.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't punch it, he didn't catch it, he was somewhere in between. And Jefferson Lerma, wallop. Amazing stuff.
He won't strike a ball better than that.
Back it goes to Meslier, the keeper now, and Bournemouth, well, they'll be enjoying this. They feel like they owe Leeds, going back 30 plus years, but here come Leeds again. Cherry's got to be aware here. Somerville goes down under the challenge of Kelly, who leant into him, but again referee waves it away, and Neto has it left side of the penalty area. I'm going to safely say, Willow, and this isn't a stat that I had ready to go, I'm going to safely say that Jefferson Lerma has never scored a professional hat-trick.
I think you've got a good chance there.
I'm going to get producer Dan to check that for me. You know, as commentators, we have stats prepared for a number of eventualities, but not often has your defensive central midfielder ever scored a hat-trick.
No.
Those kind of, you can't have everything ready to go. Here's Rothwell on the halfway line. Billing, that's why we have the top producers like Dan and Millie in the studio to deal with it. Jono's got his feet up as well, he could be Googling it for me as well. 0-0 between Newcastle and Southampton, by the way. But at the moment, 2-0 the score in Cherry's favour, and if they can see this one through, 39 points, that will be job absolutely done in the Premier League survival race. Even if Einstein
the only thing I would
no.
say about that is 39 points. Roy Hodgson says 39 points is all right, and I think he's been in the game long enough to know.
There you go. He says that probably with Palace having booked their survival as well. Dan George, our producer, top man, writes a lot of good stuff on Arsenal as well, has confirmed that Jefferson Lerma has never scored a hat-trick. So there we go. Could be the day.
Wonder if we happen to get a penalty.
Oh, I think so. I'll give it to him. I think Solanke might have something to say. Here come the ball down the middle for the Cherries again. Solanke wrestling to the ground. Down goes Cooper. Hammered away for Leeds by Koch up towards the halfway line. Then played back by Kelly, but it's picked up by McKennie in the centre of the Leeds midfield, who the Cherries were linked with, I think erroneously, in the January window. The USA international on loan from Juventus. Our colleagues from Radio Leeds earlier described him as being absolutely shocking so far since he's joined Leeds. Here's Solanke, just about onside, was he? No, up goes the flag. It was fired into him.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, the assistant referee down underneath us pointing out that Solanke had retreated from an offside position. Mark Perry is the assistant referee down on this near side, raising the flag. 2-0 the Cherries lead. Live on BBC Radio Solent. Both goals from Jefferson Lerma. Bill Foley appears at our monitor wearing an AFCB jacket.
Christie down there, isn't he?
It is Ryan Christie, who is on his knee actually and is requiring some treatment. I don't think this is a tactical timeout one, is it? Because 2-0 up, probably not many things you want to tweak so far. The message will be keep going.
Yeah, well, all he's done, he may as well take advantage of it, push some info around if it's needed. Christie's not one of the ones that you would think would go down unintentionally.
Well, how many times this season have Bournemouth played well and not taken their chances and been made to pay for things? They didn't play very well in the first 20 minutes here, and all of a sudden after 27 they're 2 up.
Amazing. That's what football does for you. Christie's up and about.
But again, that's what those positive runs, when you get that mentality all of a sudden.
Yes,
the form has been good, they've won a couple of games.
And also in vice versa, no matter what you seem to do when you're in that run like Leeds are, they just can't seem to get it right. But we're looking at the Bournemouth side of things, and it's all rosy at the moment.
Play restarting. Ryan Christie is up on his feet okay, and Leeds have it at the back on this near side. Their left. Cooper's just kicked the back of Phil Billings' foot there as they tried to make their way out on this near side. 2-0 here. Fulham 1, Manchester City 1. No goals between Villa and Manchester United at Old Trafford, or Newcastle and Southampton, as Billing clips Mark Rocker in the back. It'll be a free kick to Leeds on the halfway line, right of the centre circle.
Rocker just laid down there in front of Phil Bill.
So you only need to do that for a free kick these days. You just lie down, you get a free kick. Nonto on this left-hand side, who hasn't really had an opportunity particularly to get going.
No, he hasn't. He was someone who was, seen on television and looked pretty lively, doesn't he?
Yeah, Somerville's looked more threatening down the other side as Leeds play it out from their keeper Meslier down the far side, the right, up to the halfway line. Here's the aforementioned Somerville again, wearing short sleeves and gloves on what is a very mild afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-teens. It's dry now. It was raining earlier as Leeds continue to battle their way on down that far side, but Cherries have got red and black shirts back there, and Jefferson Lerma will clear with the help of Vigna up towards the halfway line. And now Bournemouth have worked it nicely as Solanke held it up to Lerma, and now Rothwell will switch prey as the fulcrum out to this right hand side. Up to halfway comes Adam Smith, and then Adam Smith, after all that, knocks it straight out of play for a 5-yard pass to Ouattara.
It's a bit too much pace on it, he's never going to get that, Ouattara. Fans getting behind them, they can feel it now. Game's changed.
Almost half an hour played on BBC Radio Solent. 2 goals in 5 minutes from Jefferson Lerma has got the Cherries 2 up. The first after Phil Billings' shot was blocked. A brilliant finish from Lerma, readjusting his body and curling it into the right hand side of the goal. And the second one after Meslier flapped to the corner, it dropped around about 6 yards out, and Lerma on the half volley absolutely bulldozed it into the roof of the net as Ouattara goes in firmly on Bamford there. That was the kind of challenge that Cherries fans would like to see from your new signing, throwing himself in as Leeds have it down the left-hand side. Bamford up against Billing. Billing puts a foot in, and then Smith's pushed over, and Bournemouth get a free kick inside their own half.
Vintage Smithy, that. Just holding the ball up, usually a bit close to the byline.
Remember, this is after 4 minutes. Leeds were given a penalty for a handball by Matthias Vigna. The penalty was revoked because the handball incident was outside the penalty area. The free kick was saved by
clearly
Neto.
outside the penalty area.
Harrison had a volley blocked as well, as Leeds started brightly in the first 10 minutes, but Bournemouth have come back, and the 2 goals have temporarily, maybe, at least not the stuffing out of Leeds, unless they can regather themselves. What I will say is Bournemouth were 3-1 up at Leeds earlier in the season and lost 4-3.
Yeah, don't forget that one, folks. That was a particularly bad journey home, wasn't it?
Ironically, an advert comes on the board that says no more pain round about now. It's actually some sort of scientific advert rather than no more throwing away with 2-goal lead pain.
Yeah, no pain, no gain.
Rothwell to Lerma, and Lerma was put in a tight spot there and gave the ball away to Harrison, who's charging on through the Cherries half of the field. Left side it goes to Nonto once again, level with the edge of the penalty area. Nonto whips a ball in deep. Bamford's completely unmarked and heads it into the back of the net. And I'm afraid that is loose defending from the Cherries, who completely switched off and allowed Patrick Bamford to give Leeds some hope with a free header into the back of the net. And with 31 minutes played, it's now Bournemouth 2, Leeds 1.
Well, they put us back on edge, and again, how does he get that much space? He's pulled off the back of someone. Just need to see it again here.
Well, that's really disappointing defending.
Well, he's got to pull Senesi back onto him.
The ball's out on the right hand side, but Nonto, well, he's got beyond Kelly. Vigna hadn't come across to pick him up.
He's looking for the keeper, Chris.
Yeah, I mean,
it's 6-yard box. Keeper's got to come for it.
It's landed on his head 5 yards out, hasn't it? So it is in that corridor where you probably are thinking is the keeper coming.
Yeah, but you've still got to head it away just in case. I mean, Neto does go into the category of staying on his line more often than not. You know, if you know he's not going to come, then you have to adjust your position.
And that's not the stuffing out of the crowd here. Liam Cooper is down, by the way, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue here for Leeds, their captain, so he's going to have to come off from centre half. They're going to have to throw on Max Weber here, their Austrian, who was an injury doubt for this game himself, so they may not have wanted to use him, but he's going to have to come on. The change being made here by Leeds. So Cooper hands the armband on to...
I don't know quite what he's injured, do you?
No, I'm not sure. He just sat down on the halfway line after that goal was scored. So on comes Max Weber. Captain's armband passed out to Luke Ayling for Leeds on the far side. That's such a disappointing and easy way to lose your stranglehold on the game, isn't it? That's such poor defending.
That is so disappointing, yeah. Especially, honestly, between the centre halves and the goalkeeper, they should be able to work that out.
So 11.5 minutes till half time. A home clean sheet, which would have been nice, has bitten the dust. Neto won't be adding to his 6 Premier League clean sheets this season, as Patrick Bamford scores for the 4th time this season. He missed a huge chance, as we said, to win the game late on against Leicester last time out. For someone of his quality, he maybe hasn't quite achieved what his potential suggested he would when he was a youngster at Chelsea, but don't need too many second invitations with free headers like that from about 5 yards. As Bournemouth win a throw in on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper will have a look at that and decide that, you know, if he's 2 yards out to start with, it's only a 3-yard gap, isn't it, that he's got to cover.
Cherries give away possession with a throw-in down on this near side. BBC Radio Solent, Sunday afternoon, a brace of 2 o'clock kickoffs. All of these games, of course, a knock-on effect, actually, of West Ham playing in the Europa League, which knocked the game with them to Sunday last week, and then the Southampton game to Thursday, and then this one to Sunday. That's why the fixtures are all skewed out of kilter at the moment, because of West Ham being in Europe. They've got a semi-final to come, of course, against Alkmaar in that competition, as Bamford just clashes with who's that down on this near side? Senesi, who's down.
He's landed on his back. I was concerned he was going to land on his shoulder from that one.
Yeah, Gary O'Neill was just having a dialogue there with Bamford, because the two just got a bit tangled up as they went to pick themselves up.
Yeah, but he's landed on his back, just knocked the wind out of him, I expect.
Yeah, Senesi sort of jumping and barging Bamford in the back, but Senesi's end up more hurt than Bamford, who's back on his feet. Senesi's taking his time. Sat down on the turf. You're right, Willow, just knocking the wind out of his sails slightly. So we play 35 minutes, Bournemouth 2, Leeds 1 on BBC Radio Solent, a game that is seesawed, because Leeds dominated the first 20, then were 2-0 down by 25 minutes, but Bournemouth have handed them a gift back into the game with some poor defending to allow Bamford a free header, and now Leeds have got a free kick on this left-hand side. Still no goals between Newcastle and Southampton at St James's Park. Eddie Howe's side, who've been scoring for fun recently, not able to break through against Saints at the moment. That one live on our Hampshire frequencies, also kicked off at 2. Leeds play the free kick horizontally across the field to Rocker, who hangs one up. Neto is coming for this one, calls loud, and Kelly ducks underneath it, and then Neto bowls it out to Ouattara down the left hand side, who's immediately closed down by Ayling. Ouattara's got no support at all over there, and nearly ended up going through the turnstile in the Leeds fans as he ran off the field with his momentum. And now Somerville's away on that far side from Vigna. Vigna tries to challenge back, won the ball, says the referee. I don't think the Leeds fans thought so. It breaks to the edge of the box. Here's Rocker again. That one's blocked by Senesi as Leeds just suddenly have a bit of momentum from that goal. Left hand side Harrison, 25 yards out now. Down the line for him goes Nonto, ignored at the moment by Harrison. Christie making the challenge. Still Harrison to the byline, and then in goes Smith, and Harrison for some reason just kept dribbling and then took it over the byline for a goal kick.
If I was Nonto, I'd be furious there. He'd made a great run for Leeds, down the side of the left back, just wanted to slip it in.
Seeing a replay of Matthias Vigna's tenacious tracking back there. I think it's debatable whether he actually got anything of the ball, having seen it from behind. I think it might have been Somerville who actually kicked the ball forward as he travelled. But anyway, the referee judged in the Cherries' favour. I think quite a few decisions have gone in Bournemouth's favour in this first 37 minutes. On BBC Radio Solent, Sunday afternoon. Jono Holmes in the chair this afternoon, anchoring things. A rare afternoon of sport for him. Great to have him on the team this weekend, or great to be on his team, we should say. As the ball down this right hand side for Ouattara, no flag at the minute. Ouattara and Harrison will fall or try and kick it off Ouattara, and in the end does so, down by the corner flag. Leeds
stayed on side, did well. Ouattara there, thought it was just a little edge to it, but no.
Just had a message from Jono Holmes' management agent, who says it's definitely Jono Holmes' team that we're on, he's not on our team. 7.5 minutes gone, I'm only joking. Down this near side, Verba, the substitute, with the throw-in, volleyed away up towards the halfway line where Kelly has it. Just a slightly heavy touch inside his own half, which just gave Nonto for a second a bit of encouragement to chase it on. Manchester City are back in front against Fulham by 2-1. Julian Alvarez has got the second there. 7 minutes till half-time here at the Vitality Stadium. It is Bournemouth 2, Leeds United 1. Free kick again on, throw-in on halfway to the Cherries. Game's just settled down a little bit after that hectic few minutes. 3 goals in 12 minutes, 2 of them to the Cherries through Jefferson Lerma with both. Bamford for Leeds. Solanke again wrestling with Verba on this near side. I mean, Verba nearly picked Solanke up off the ground, and the assistant referee was right there and said throw it only to Leeds.
Yeah, he said he had a hold of the back of his chair, not so sure about that.
Throw-in field from Verba to McKennie. That's gone out of play off the Cherries again. Another throw-in as Leeds edge their way down this near side.
Just going back in my mind, that he'll never strike a ball more firmer than that, Jefferson, for the second goal.
It was
it's caught everything on it.
It was the proverbial wallop, wasn't it? No doubt about that. Doesn't usually leave too much to wonder, does he, when he strikes the ball, Jefferson Lerma? Ball out to this near side, and Verba again now on the left of the Leeds back three. That's a poor ball, and well read by Adam Smith, who went sliding in. Then Rothwell's won the bits and pieces in midfield. Solanke on the halfway line was tripped by Koch, and the Cherries do get the free kick on this occasion as Solanke is left on the ground.
Taking it quickly, thought referee might have a little.
Rothwell, another one who had a real physically tough game on Thursday night, Joe Rothwell. I'll be interested to see how far he lasts this evening, because he had a bit of a hamstring issue as well going into that game and ran himself to a standstill on Thursday night, did Joe Rothwell.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I was speaking to Ryan Christie after the game, Willow, and he said that him and Joe Rothwell were trying to stretch each other's calves off towards the end of the game. Joe Rothwell's was doing some sort of involuntary contraction vigorously. He was that tired.
I've never had cramp playing football, but I have had cramp as I've got older, and it does hurt.
5.5 minutes till half time. I nearly got cramp yesterday while I was working in the Northampton Town press box for 5 Live. It was so tight I lost the feeling in my left foot quite regularly throughout the afternoon, as that one goes out of play on the far side from Leeds, and a Cherries throw-in short of the halfway line. McKennie involved, just picking himself back up. And Cherries not rushing this throw-in with exactly 5 minutes to go until the interval.
At the very least, see it through to half-time and have a little regroup.
18 points for the last 11 games for the Cherries. That's as many as they took in their first 22 games of the season. So the last third of the season that we've had has as many points as the first 2/3, with a World Cup and a change of manager, of course, in that first 2/3. At the moment, still leading by 2-1, but not quite as comfortable as they were for 7 minutes until Bamford reduced the arrears. Adam Smith on halfway just takes it away from Nonto. Back it goes to Senesi, out on this right hand side. Billing, he's got two Leeds players hassling and harrying him, and now they have to go back to the keeper Neto, away to our left as the Cherries set themselves back up.
Rathbone could have had that one.
Long ball down the middle where Koch and Solanke again are having an ongoing physical battle every time the ball's in the air. Nonto, Adam Smith sticking very closely to him on the halfway line. Did so legally, Adam Smith. He was as close as he could be.
He's gone down, but there was no foul at all.
Adam Smith had his hands in the air. It's the as close as you can get with your hands in the air, and try not to give away a free kick. Now Verber on this near side for Leeds. He's asking too much of Harrison there. Dungo Watara's chasing it back towards his own corner flag, defending, but it will allow that to easily run behind. Cherries goal kick, 2-1 up, 3.5 minutes till half time. Interested in your thoughts if you're listening at home today. The news on Friday that we brought you on Solent Sport on Twitter, which was that Gary O'Neill will trigger an extra year onto his contract if Bournemouth stay in the division. He was only given 18 months originally, which took him through to next summer, but now he'll go through the summer of 2025 contractually. What are your thoughts on Gary O'Neill as the manager going forward? Because opinion was divided. Quite a few of those, I guess sometimes it almost an embarrassment really if they've got stuck into him earlier in the season, said he's not fit for the job, etc., and now here he is looking like he's going to keep the Cherries up and take them to lower mid-table. Sometimes people have to just fall on their sword and say they got it wrong. But what are your thoughts now on Gary O'Neill as the man to take the Cherries forward? Neto taking a bit of a chance there, dribbling past Patrick Bamford. Willow's looking slightly concerned at that kind of showboating, if you like, from Neto as the ball goes out for a Cherries throw-in on this near side, which Verber disagreed with, almost in the face of the assistant referee.
No, it's not my idea of fun seeing the goalkeeper taking centre forward on.
Got to get used to it these days. Now, is there a lifeline for Southampton? They've gone 1-0 up away at Newcastle. Stuart Armstrong has scored. He was lively when he came on off the bench on Thursday night against the Cherries. So is there still some drama as that free kick is given against Solanke on the edge of the centre circle for an aerial challenge with Robin Koch, which the Leeds fans felt like they haven't had a decision for a while. They're now sarcastically applauding referee Kavanagh. And Manchester United have now scored against Aston Villa through Bruno Fernandes. So some notable goals in the chase for Europe. The Newcastle goal, I'm sure, is being cheered in the Manchester area.
It's amazing, isn't it? You know that Southampton would have had quite a bit of money on that go Newcastle's way, but it just doesn't work like that in the Premier League. There's always a shock.
2 minutes until half time. Bournemouth leading Leeds by 2-1 here at the Vitality Stadium. Jefferson Lerma with both Cherries goals, 2 in 5 minutes on the halfway line. Christensen wins a header against Christie. Certainly a bit more commitment being shown from Leeds, the type that their fans will engage with and be expecting of their players at this stage of the season as well. Again, it's never really that quiet at Leeds, isn't it? When Bielsa left in February 22, then Jesse Marsh came in, lasted a year, got the boot. Now Javi Gracia.
It's a great place to play, having said that. I mean, I've been beaten there, but with Bournemouth, but it's a fantastic atmosphere.
A minute to go until half time. The ways to get in touch with your views, by the way, is Rothwell gives away a poor ball, then battles to win it back and just about does enough to allow Senesi to get the possession back for the Cherries. Ryan Christie out to Billing on this right hand side for Bournemouth, going from left to right in this closing minute of the half. Billing to Jefferson Lerma, 35 yards out, unsurprisingly they shout shoot, and to the edge of the box it goes. Dom Solanke just stumbled slightly, still running for Ouattara, lots of white traffic there. Ouattara couldn't quite eventually get it through, and the flag has gone up for one of those little squirty passes that was bouncing off all sorts of people in there.
Yeah, I think he went for the old pinball route, didn't he? Just bouncing it off the shins. Hopefully he'd get past the fourth man.
Just going back to Ellen Road, I mean, it was an unbelievable atmosphere when we went there for the 4-3, wasn't it, that day? The noise when Leeds got the winner was something else. Heard from West Yorkshire to North, South and East Yorkshire, I think. Here's Rocker left of the centre circle for Leeds. We're coming towards the moment when the fourth official, Andre Mariner, will come forward with the board to tell us how much time at the end of the half to be added on. It's 4 minutes at the end of this half. Solanke on the halfway line suddenly puts Ryan Christie away. He sees Billing in the middle, and I'm not sure Billing knew that Harrison was so close to him. Gives away a free kick for tripping Harrison, but Billing, I think, thought he had all the time in the world there, and Harrison was suddenly in his wing mirror.
He actually looked backwards, didn't he, and that was where he cut across, and unfortunate there.
Well, it was a real shame because there was oceans of space for Billing to run into. They just got caught up, and the free kick was rightly given in Leeds' favour. At Solent Sport is the way to get in touch with your verdict on a couple of points that we've mentioned so far. This is Bournemouth safe surely if they win this game here, leading by 2-1. And your thoughts on Gary O'Neill going forward as well, as the man to start a promotion challenge next year with an ambitious summer window to come, of course. I'm sure Bill Foley's going to be digging deep into his pockets over the summer. Interested to see what the squad looks like by the start of next season. 1 minute of the 4 have been played. Out to this near side. At Solent Sport on Twitter to get in touch, or you can WhatsApp us on 08000 321 333. Cherries have it in the centre circle with today's goal hero Jefferson Lerma, caught in possession by Leeds scorer Bamford. But they have it back now with Senesi at the heart of the Cherries' defence. Playing it around nicely. Lerma looks down the right-hand side. Lovely first touch from Ouattara. Might get it away. A good challenge came in from Koch to come sliding across there as Ouattara and Solanke threatened to break through.
I think they left it for one another, didn't they? And the Leeds man just come in and snuck it away.
Ouattara again looked a possible creative outlet at times, hasn't he? Given a couple of opportunities on this near side. Getting through a lot of work, getting back to help Adam Smith as well down this right flank. I guess it's one of those, Ouattara. You're not going to play Ouattara as a wing back in that system, are you? Because the defensive duties are probably too much for him. But on the right side of a 4,
yeah,
he looks
can live with them.
Yeah, attacking with a bit of defence.
They keep finding him as well with that little reverse ball.
2 minutes.
Lerma, sorry.
There's Ouattara. Speak of him doing his defensive work. There he is, 30 yards from his own goal, out on the touchline, volleying it away as Jack Harrison was there as one of the ball staff. Young ball girls has to run onto the pitch to collect a stray one that was thrown back from the crowd. And there are less than 2 minutes remaining of the 4 additional in this half, with Bournemouth leading by 2-1. And Vigna there, a long crossfield ball from Leeds, and Vigna, I think he had the shout, was happy to duck his head underneath it and let go out for a throw-in right over by the corner flag.
Yeah, I think he was just a yard out. I think he thought he was going out for a goal kick, but got a throw in.
Cherries fans are applauding Matthias Vigna simply for walking over to take a throw-in on that far side. He's one of those, isn't he? I mean, he didn't really get a look in for weeks and weeks, a bit like Jack Stevens, Matthias Vigna, but it's been encouraging what we've seen of him in the last few games.
Yeah, it has.
Only on loan, remember, from Roma. Cherries do have an option, but not an obligation to buy him in the summer, as the ball is back with Leeds on the edge of the penalty area here. Attacking wise, Lloyd Kelly's there ahead of Nonto to dribble it away as we enter the final minute of the added time at the end of the half on this Sunday afternoon, serving from BBC Radio Solent. Bournemouth leading Leeds by 2-1. Christie was a little bit careless in his challenge on Ayling, and that will give Leeds a set piece out on the touchline and a chance to fire one into the box with the last play of the half. Yeah,
not a good one to give away out there. You know, he's on the touchline, he's not going anywhere.
Javi Gracia animatedly waves Jack Harrison over to the far side to get involved in this. Mark Rocker is there as well, and in fact Harrison says, "Oi, Gaffer says it's me, get away." Rocker wanders off and Harrison goes right out to that far touchline to swing this one in with his left foot. The centre halves are up from the back. There's 15 seconds of added time remaining. Bournemouth have got to keep this door shut and hold on to this 2-1 advantage at minimum going into the half-time interval. Here comes this free kick wide on the right from Jack Harrison in towards the 6-yard line, won by Verba, runs loose, then a real shank from Luke Ayling on his right foot as it fell to him in the penalty area into the north stand.
Well, it's a half chance, isn't it? Badly missed.
That is half time as well. The whistle goes, so Bournemouth go off leading by 2-1 at half time. There was a real fervent carnival Sunday afternoon atmosphere here when Jefferson Lerma scored twice in 5 minutes to give Bournemouth a 2-0 advantage on 20 and 25. The first from Billing's shot being blocked, Lerma curling home the rebound brilliantly with his right foot. The second came from a corner which Meslier, the keeper, flapped at, and it dropped for Lerma, who hammered it in on the half volley. Patrick Bamford halved the arrears for Leeds. He was given a free header, poor defending by the Cherries on 32 minutes. And all of this was after Leeds were given a penalty in the 4th minute for a handball by Matthias Vigna, but it was overturned by VAR because the offence was clearly outside the penalty area. Neto saved the resulting free kick from Mark Rocker. The half has swung both ways, Willow, but give us your assessment.
Well, first 20 minutes was not good at all. You know, we're thinking, what is happening here? We kept giving the ball away in bad areas. There was a penalty shout that was given against us when we lost the ball, and then all of a sudden Jefferson Lerma pops up with his 2 goals. I'm sure Gary will be a little bit annoyed about the goal that went in. I think Neto might have to have a look at himself for that one, but you know, we're more than capable of winning the game. I think we can go on here and perhaps get a couple more.
Thank you, John. The ways to get in touch with your half-time verdict are Twitter at Solent Sport, or you can WhatsApp us as well. You need to put Solent as the first word of your message and send it to 08000 321 333. Stick your name on as well so Jono can give you a shout out. But at the moment, Bournemouth are halfway towards surely Premier League safety. They lead against Leeds here at the Vitality by 2 Jefferson Lerma goals to 1.
Southampton 1.
This is BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Wow, who saw this coming? Newcastle 0, Saints 1. Is there a glimmer for Saints?
Well, Krause has it over halfway, driving down the middle, Armstrong to his left, Sulemana to his right, pushes Sulemana a bit wide, crosses first time, 1-0 Southampton, Stuart Armstrong taps it in, great early cross from Sulemana, Armstrong taps it home, and Saints lead at Newcastle. The travelling fans have an away goal to take home, and it is reward for an excellent first half performance. What a comeback from the performance against Bournemouth so far here this afternoon. And that has silenced St James's Park. It's Newcastle 0, Saints 1.
There you go, Saints 1 up at the break at Newcastle, a traditionally tough place for them to travel in the Premier League. What are your thoughts, Saints fans? 81333 on the text with Solent as the first word. You can WhatsApp as well, 08000 321 333, making Solent your first word, or tweet at Solent Sport. Hello to Mark, who says, why could we not have played this well against Bournemouth when it really mattered on Thursday night? I think I counted 5 Ys on his tweet, but thank you very much for your message. Also as well, text with no name on it here. I've supported Southampton for over 50 years. I've come to the conclusion the club are as mad as a box of frogs. The only thing that keeps me going is hearing Joe Tessam trying to work out Sellers' latest crazy formation without his head exploding. They are an enigma, Southampton, this season, turning it on against the big sides, struggling against the lower sides, but they're 1 up at the break in the northeast. Meanwhile, at the Vitality Stadium, the Cherries looking to get safety sealed this afternoon, and it's going very well so far.
Kelly's long diagonal down the middle for Billing, who wins the header, lays it off for Dom Solanke, tries to go around the outside of his man, still going Dom Solanke, looks to pull it back to Phil Billing, magnificent block from Cooper, here comes Lerma on his right foot, oh, Jefferson Lerma places an absolute perler into the right hand side of the goal. And just shy of the 20-minute mark, Leeds will feel hard done by. Bournemouth will not care. Another step towards the safety line provided by Jefferson Lerma's brilliant finish. Bournemouth 1, Leeds 0. In from Christie, Solanke was coming in. Here's Lerma again! It's 2 for Jefferson Lerma! It broke to him on the 6-yard line, and he hammered it on the half volley into the roof of the net. And can you believe it? Jefferson Lerma's on a hat-trick. Bournemouth 2, Leeds 0. Nonto whips the ball in deep. Bamford's completely unmarked and heads it into the back of the net. And I'm afraid that is loose defending from the Cherries, who completely switched off and allowed Patrick Bamford to give Leeds some hope with a free header into the back of the net. And with 31 minutes played, it's now Bournemouth 2, Leeds 1.
So 2-1 lead for the Cherries at half-time at the Vitality Stadium, a win that would take them level on points with Chelsea, and with Chelsea, the visitors, next weekend to the Vitality Stadium as well. 39 points. If they can hold on, surely it's safety for another season in the Premier League. What do you think, Cherries fans? Hit me up on the text, 81333, Solent first word. WhatsApp is open for business as well, 08000 321 333 with Solent at the start of your message. Or you can tweet at Solent Sport as well.
BBC Radio Solent Sport. BBC Radio Solent.
The days are getting longer and the weather is getting warmer.
And this spring, make sure you take BBC Radio Solent with you.
You can listen live, pause, rewind, and catch up on the BBC Sounds app.
Whether you're taking a stroll through the park or sorting out the garden, we'll be there for you.
BBC Radio Solent, the sound of the South. This is BBC Radio Solent Sport, the home of live sport across the South.
5 minutes to 3 on the last day in April, Sunday afternoon. It's John O'Holmes here with BBC Radio Solent Sport, with you all the way through until 6 o'clock this evening, with loads of reaction coming up following our 2 live commentaries this afternoon, and with the second half coming up in around about 8-9 minutes time as well. Other scores floating around at the moment in the Premier League. It's Fulham 1, Manchester City 2 at half time at Craven Cottage. That was a 2 o'clock kickoff. The other game taking place that started at 2 o'clock as well. It's currently Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 0 at half-time. A big game in the battle for the European places this season. In the Championship earlier on, it ended Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 2. A massive win for Huddersfield. Are they going to survive under Neil Warnock? He's working his magic up there in Yorkshire, isn't he? Scottish Cup semi-final. It's currently Rangers 0, Celtic 1. That's into the second half. Formula 1 news. Sergio Perez won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix earlier. He pipped his Red Bull teammate Max Verstappen to first place. And the World Snooker Championship final is underway right now, with Mark Selby taking on Luca Brecel. It's currently 3 frames to 1 to Brecel, but a long way to go. It's a best of 35 frames in that match. Final day of the Women's Football League season as well. Get some half-times very shortly from Dan. And we'll be, after the games this afternoon, looking back at an incredible afternoon of football yesterday, with Weymouth securing safety in the National League South. It looked almost impossible just a few days ago, but against the odds, the Terrors survived with a final day 2-0 win at Dover. Lots on that coming up after our 2 live commentaries this afternoon. One of the stories of the season for us on Solent Sport, that. Now, though, we're going to look ahead to a big game tomorrow concerning Sholing and Hamworthy. It's the Southern League Division 1 South playoff final at the Imperial Homes Stadium on Portsmouth Road. Kick-off at 3 o'clock. And I'm really pleased to say Sholing manager Dave Diper joins me on the phone. Afternoon to you, Dave.
Hello, John. How are you? All right?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for coming on BBC Radio. So I'm sure you're busy preparing for the game tomorrow. It's a big one against Hamworthy. How have preparations been ahead of the playoff final for this huge game? Well, I think we've lost Dave for just a second there. We'll try and get Dave back in a short little time on BBC Radio Solent Sport. Maybe you just got a dodgy line for a second. Let's keep your tweets coming in then, Saints and Cherries fans. It's at Solent Sport on Twitter. You can also text 81333 Solent first word. Hello to Dan, who says, not getting excited with this Saints first half. How many times this season have we seen it? A Newcastle equaliser and winner incoming. Come on, Dan, try and be a little bit more positive about things. You never know. Saints against the big sides this season, they've seemed to have turned it on in a few occasions anyway. I know there's not been many huge wins, but a good few plucky points. But it's not points they need, is it? They need wins at the moment. Also, Alex, thank you for your message on at Solent Sports. Says, will Southampton Football Club stop giving us hope? Yeah, just when you think it's all over, Saints put in a good first half display. Long way to go, though, up at Newcastle this afternoon. Saints currently winning there 1-0. Thank you very much to Harry, Bournemouth fan listening online. Thank you for your message. Up the Cherries, all looking great under Gary O'Neill. Win here would definitely get us safety, and I think 11th is on the cards this season. Thank you for your message, Harry, as well. It's at Solent Sport on Twitter. Let's go back to Dave Diper ahead of Sholing versus Hamworthy. We lost the line to him just then a second ago, to Sholing manager. Dave, I think you're back with us now. I was just asking about preparations and how they've been ahead of the playoff final tomorrow.
Yeah, John. We had a good session yesterday and had all the lads in. We got a couple of injury problems in a moment to face and put up with before tomorrow's game. But generally it's gone pretty well, and obviously we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, just looking at the results against Hamworthy this season, it was a 1-1 draw at their place in December. You beat them 2-0 in February at home. Does that give you an advantage, do you think?
Not really. To be honest with you, they're both close games, really. They're a very good side. I mean, they've done extremely well. You know, they've had an excellent season. But as we have as well, I mean, it's one of those games where it's going to be really down to clinical finishing, I think. And, it's sort of one of these games where you just got to take your opportunities when they come along. It's going to be a big crowd there, so we're both looking forward to that. I spoke to Dan Can this morning, to be honest with you, their manager. He got in contact with me, and, Yeah, I've been really sort of pleased with our performance this year. I mean, we've been sort of like top of the league for a long time, probably 37 weeks out of the 40, I believe. But playoff finals, the adrenaline's pumping all the time. It's one of those games where you mustn't go in there being, frightened to lose, because if you do that, we'll end up losing. So, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, bank holiday, big crowd, should be a cracking atmosphere. How important would it be to win this and get the club promoted, Dave?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think we need to get out of this league we're in. We've been there for a while now, and it'd be nice to play some different teams. I think it's a situation where we're sort of up to the standard where we are, but pushing forward, I think it's desperate for the club. We're desperate to get promotion, and but obviously, you can't let this sort of spread over to the players. That's the thing, because we'd want to be playing under pressure. But we'll have a good crowd. We'll give it a real good go and see where it takes us.
All right, Dave. All the best for tomorrow. Wishing you all the luck in the world on it. Thank you, mate. Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Dave Diper there, Sholing manager, head of the Southern League Division 1 South playoff final at the Imperial Homes Stadium. Kick-off 3 o'clock on Portsmouth Road tomorrow afternoon against Hamworthy. Let's check in on some of the women's games taking place. It's the final day of the Women's Football League season with the latest scores concerning our local sides. It's Dan.
Jono, thank you. Southampton FC women hosting Sheffield United in the Championship. Half-time in that game, 0-0 at St Mary's Stadium. Pompey welcome Crawley Wasps at Fratton Park. Also, no goals in that game at the break. Southampton women, the Sirens, behind at the break with it 1-0 to Cardiff after they took the lead from the penalty spot. And finally, Moneyfields hosting Keynsham Town with Moneyfields drawing 1-1 at half-time. Taylor pulling one back after her side originally went a goal down.
Thank you, Dan.
Join us across the BBC to celebrate the coronation of Their Majesties King Charles and Queen Camilla. Be part of the event of a lifetime with our coverage of the coronation service at Westminster Abbey. Get a glimpse into the King's life with an exclusive new documentary, and enjoy celebrations across the UK and the Commonwealth, from local street parties to international choirs singing as one, and the spectacular concert at Windsor Castle. Celebrate the coronation with us. Watch on iPlayer, listen on BBC Sounds.
It is BBC Radio Solent Sport for Sunday afternoon. We've got 2 live commentaries for you this afternoon. Cherries versus Leeds, which is 2-1 to the Cherries at half-time. Both going our way at the moment, the live games that we've got for you. And Newcastle 0, Saints 1 is a half-time score as well. Surprising one, that. Do keep your thoughts coming in. Saints and Cherries fans will do loads of reaction after the game when we speak to Willow and Joe as well and get the reaction. But your thoughts always welcome here. We'd love to hear from you. 81333 on the text. It's Solent first word. Twitter is @Solent Sport as well. Or you can WhatsApp, which is 08000 321 333 with Solent at the start of your message. We can go back now to the Vitality Stadium on our Dorset frequencies. Cherries game is on 103.8 FM. Dorset DAB, Freeview channel 726 via BBC Radio Solent Dorset Sounds, and smart speaker online as well. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Solent Dorset. Is back to Chris Temple and John Williams with the Cherries commentary.
Thanks, Jono. Welcome back to the second half, where the two teams just making their way back out. With Bournemouth leading by 2-1, both goals from Jefferson Lerma. Patrick Bamford giving Leeds some hope on 32 minutes with a free header. No changes at half-time. Leeds having made one in the first half due to an injury. As the final few Cherry substitutes just making their way off the field. In fact, we'll delay in the start of the second half here while we wait for David Brooks and Jack Stevens in their yellow substitute bibs to get off the field. They were just having a chat with Ryan Christie about something. Bournemouth red and black stripes, black shorts and red socks, right to left in this second half towards the Steve Fletcher Vitality North Stand. Leeds in their all-white colours going from left to right. So I say 2-1 the score in favour of the Cherries at half-time, as some late members of the press just making their way back to their seats towards the second half. I'll give you the teams in full very shortly. Luke Ayling down this right-hand side for Leeds, though, with the first attack of this second half. That's a great ball in towards Nonto, who got a glancing head on it about 8 yards out, but couldn't make a decent contact. And really, that was a bit of a let-off for the Cherries there, John Williams.
It was more than a let-off. Why he hasn't thrown himself at that, I don't know. Diving header, he gets everything on it. It's in the back of the net.
Well, that was a let-off, and really, I guess if you're looking for somebody to be on the end of an aerial ball to power some sort of header at it, your 5'6" winger probably isn't the ideal choice. So we'll give you the teams in a second. The ball's still in play. It's Vigna down this left-hand side who clears it away under the challenge of Ayling. But given away by the Cherries and then given away by Leeds. And now Christie goes past the challenger Cock, but then he's outnumbered by white shirts, and Weston McKennie comes away with the ball for Leeds. Out towards Nonto, and back they go to Jack Harrison playing as the left wing back for the visitors from West Yorkshire, who started the day just 1 point clear of the drop zone. Bournemouth 7 points clear of the drop at the start of play, with 15 available to the teams below them at the most, as Bamford on this near side challenges with Senesi on the Cherries left, up to the halfway line. Ryan Christie, Solanke has it, some fast feet away from Mark Rocker. Free kick. Let's give you the teams, as that free kick is given by Chris Kavanagh, who's today's referee. Bournemouth have Neto in goal, the back four Smith, Senesi, Kelly and Vigna, then Ouattara, Rothwell, Lerma and Christie, and Billing supporting Solanke. The Cherries bench: Travers, Stevens, Stacey, Zabani, Cook, Brooks, Semenyo, Moore and Anthony. No Mepham or Tavernier today with hamstring complaints. Leeds have Meslier in goal. They have a back three, which is Verba, Koch and Christensen. The wing backs Harrison on the left and Ayling on the right, then McKennie and Rocker centrally, and the front three. I'll come back to that in a second, because Solanke's won it left hand side of the penalty area. In it comes to Ryan Christie, penalty box, back to the edge of the area. Rothwell has it, Lerma's loitering by the D, sniffing a hat-trick. Back to Solanke, in it comes towards the 6-yard box. Poor clearance, runs loose for Ryan Christie, well blocked by Harrison, who made the initial poor clearance. It goes out to Ouattara, right side of the penalty area for the Cherries here. Knocks it back to Christie, who tries to roll his man on the edge of the box. Still Smith, back to Lerma, they shout shoot again. He's closed down by Somerville. Leeds have got white shirts back there plentifully on the edge of the penalty area. Then Ouattara whips a ball in, that's volleyed away by Robin Koch up towards the halfway line, and Leeds have thwarted the initial wave of pressure, and it's back to Senesi on the centre spot.
Yeah, at least we can retain the ball this time. Good work there by Kelly, just to hold Leeds player off.
Well, there's going to be a lot of cries of shoot if Jefferson Lerma gets the ball at his feet below now, and anywhere within 10 nautical miles of the goal. Shoot. I was looking up at half-time, as all good commentators do, of course, some updated stats on Jefferson Lerma's goal-scoring habits as the ball goes back to Meslier. And his all-black Leeds goalkeeping kit. Lerma with a header in the centre circle, which runs for Smith. Solanke coming back from an offside position, can't get onto Adam Smith's ball forward, and back through to Meslier. Jefferson Lerma will only once in his career has scored twice in the same game, and that was back in 2014 for his old Colombian club, when he scored twice against Fortaleza. A header on a right shot. Yeah. His team won 3-1 that game. Both goals came in the first half. Well, could be some symmetry.
Let's hope so.
But he's never scored a hat-trick, confirmed in the first half by our producer Dan. Christensen has it, Danish international colleague of Phil Billing of the Cherries. And now Leeds go out to the left-hand side once again with Verba, the Austrian international. Down the left-hand side it goes looking for Harrison, but there's Ouattara again doing some good defensive work to shield the ball out of play for a goal kick to the Cherries away to our right.
Yeah, Ouattara just got his body in, little nudge. He's always going to run off. Just have to buy a little bit of time.
Jack Harrison, as he jogs back past the Leeds fans on the far side, they're giving him a real urge, saying come on, Premier League survival. Of course, when you look at the games to come, if you're a team down the bottom, you're saying, well, we're playing Bournemouth, they're also in the bottom half. You're looking at this as a massive game in your season, aren't they? They've got Man City away next, Leeds, then Newcastle, then West Ham away and Tottenham at home. That's their next remaining 4 games.
Dear me.
So you can see why they're putting a bit of emphasis on this one.
Well,
but it's Bournemouth who lead it by 2-1 at the moment, with 5 minutes gone in the second half. Nonto wriggles away from the challenger Smith. Lerma in pursuit. Down the left side of the penalty area go Leeds. Nonto, the Italian, holds it up. Back it comes to the corner of the box, and Rocker slides one into Somerville down the left side of the penalty area. Senesi was there, closed the door quickly. I'm not really sure why Senesi tried to play a short ball to Lerma. Needs to just get rid of it there, and Leeds have won a throw level with the box.
Yeah, that's what the outcome is, the throw-in. Should have just gone up the wing.
Yeah, sometimes the bravery is misplaced, isn't it? Here comes Christensen again out on this near side to Luke Ayling. Long-serving Leeds player. Down the right-hand side it goes. Weston McKennie to the byline. He cannons it behind off Ryan Christie and gives the Leeds fans something to think about and cheer. Corner to Leeds.
Yeah, they started quite brightly, Leeds. Good possession. Now we've got a corner to deal with.
Leeds fans singing the songs of Willie Gnonto, their left winger, who they were dismayed to see not play a part against Leicester on Tuesday night. He was fit and available, but he was left on the bench for the whole game. Leeds trailing 2-1, preparing to deliver this in-swinging corner from Jack Harrison on this near side as we head towards the 51-minute mark. 6-yard box is full, and it comes to the near post, runs past everybody, loose to Somerville, aims it for goal. It strikes a Cherries player, goes behind for a corner. It was Senesi who closed it down. Leeds corner on the left.
Leeds fans shouting for handball again. Anytime it blocks off someone, it's the big shout goes up.
Is your knee handball these days? Sometimes you wonder, don't you? Every single... That's the Leeds fans you can hear still singing the Gnonto song on the far side as Harrison makes his way from one side of the field to the other to deliver this second consecutive Leeds corner as Bournemouth protect their 2-1 lead here on BBC Radio Solent, a Sunday afternoon in the Premier League. Delivered by Harrison. This one's deeper, way too deep. Billing, well, he could have maybe let it go, but in the end,
oh dear,
Ouattara helped it up the field.
We had a great opportunity.
Christensen launches one back in. The Cherries will let that one go, and it's all settled down. It'll be a Bournemouth goal kick.
Jefferson Lerma just needed information from a teammate there just to control the ball, and we actually had a 2 against 1 getting out.
So Leeds have got a problem here. Who's down? Jack Harrison is down, holding his lower back on the far side. Jack Harrison is waving the physio on, but of course they have to wait for the referee's official approval. So now 2 members of Leeds medical staff with their small black holdalls.
Where's he going now, the ref? He's going to have a word with who?
Probably, I'm not sure. A word with Neto about taking the restarts quicker. It's a quiet word, I think, from Chris Kavanagh to Neto.
Thumbs up.
Rolling his hands to say keep it moving. Of course, Chris Kavanagh was the referee. I think pretty sure he booked Neto, Willow. I'm going to check it now, but for time wasting in that Arsenal game when the Cherries were trying to see it out. I haven't written it down, but he may well have booked him in that game. But let's just say using the clock to his full potential. So Harrison getting treated here. You're not missing anything on BBC Radio Solent.
So he gets one more chance then, Neto.
I'm not sure he's had any chances yet, has he? I don't think so.
So that's one cornetto.
Not too many. But no dangers of any suspensions for anybody. Accumulating yellow cards now. Adam Smith was walking a tightrope for a little while, but the deadline has passed now for that 30-second match, which is the West Ham match last week. There's the deadline. Harrison's back on his feet, just holding his lower back on the right-hand side. Stretching himself out over there, one of Leeds' key men.
He might have got a knee in the back or something, can hurt.
So we restart. We've played 8.5 minutes of the second half. Bournemouth with 2 Jefferson Lerma goals. Patrick Bamford pulling one back for Leeds, his 4th of the season. Member of the England One Cap Wonder Club is Patrick Bamford as the ball is cleared away by the Cherries keeper Neto in his all yellow goalkeeping uniform. Lovely flick on by Ouattara, hanging in the air on the halfway line. We've seen that do that to regular effect.
Yeah, he does. He jumps really well for... He's not huge, is he?
No.
I don't think he's 6 foot.
He's got a big spring as Dongo Ouattara as that ball runs loose inside the Cherries half, and Neto comes charging out of his penalty area to clear it away, and he's found Solanke with his clearance forward and shanked up in the air by Christensen, his own half for Leeds. Nodded to the right side of the box by Billing, where Verba is back there to clear it away ahead of Solanke. Then Gnonto and Smith coming together, and Adam Smith has done well on that occasion against the Italian, and unfortunately Ouattara has run off his shin and out for a Leeds throw in their own half.
Yeah, just couldn't quite keep that under his feet. Leeds with the throw.
Gary O'Neill's Premier League debut against Leeds, by the way. They won 6-1 for Portsmouth and he scored 2. So he doesn't like facing Leeds in the Premier League, not so much earlier in the season, I think it's fair to say, as Smith and Gnonto again having a coming together, and Adam Smith, just talking about yellow cards, is going to draw the attentions of the referee and does receive his 10th yellow card of the season for a pullback on Gnonto down the left flank. Doesn't mean anything for a suspension, but it does mean now that Gnonto against Smith for the remaining 35 minutes, Willow. Smith's on a yellow card.
You might have to look at that, Gary, later on.
Jack Stacey is on the bench, hasn't played for quite a few weeks, of course, but the beauty of this is now that players should be ready. Jack Stevens, of course, is another option. We have seen Gary O'Neill quite often withdraw people on yellow cards.
Yeah, we have.
We saw Senesi, didn't we, come off?
Yeah, I'm for it. I can fully understand, especially the way players are now. They'll go looking for Smithy.
Here comes this free kick for Leeds then, wide on the left, level with the edge of the penalty here. Harrison is back fit and going to take it. Bournemouth 2, Leeds 1. Another set-piece opportunity for Bournemouth to stand firm here. And it comes from Harrison. The header from Bamford was misplaced. There is a flag anyway as McKennie put it over the crossbar. But Patrick Bamford, well, again, not a really convincing connection on the header. If it was him who was offside, it's irrelevant anyway. But that was a good chance.
Yeah, he's well offside.
He is well offside. And really, if they hadn't been offside, there were some questions asked. He hardly got a connection on it at all.
Yeah. Just usually a little flick for the far post with them headers.
Yeah. 56 minutes played. Newcastle have levelled it against Southampton, and agent Callum Wilson has scored for the Toonami. 1-1 there. That one's live on our Hampshire frequencies right now. We're live across Dorset and on via BBC Sounds as well. Via your smart speaker, just tell it to play BBC Radio Solent Dorset, and you will be getting us loud and clear. As the ball from Billing flicked on for Bournemouth down the right side and knocked back by Koch to his Leeds keeper Meslier, who clears it away left-footed up towards halfway. Jefferson Lerma, well, he had a free header there and he managed to head thin air with nobody around him as the ball bounced up off the turf. And Billing is putting his foot in, and Rothwell's scrapping away, and Christie's trying to win it back, and eventually Rothwell gets the key intervention in, and now Ryan Christie looks up for options. He sees Ouattara out on the right hand side, faced by Harrison, down the right side of the box for Billing. Wasn't a great ball from Ouattara, presented straight back to Koch, and then Harrison slips, just about still managed to clear it. Still only level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area though, and then it's off Billing for a Leeds throw. Just broke down there with a poor pass from Ouattara to Billing.
Yes, it did. I was just keeping the eye on Smithy, how he was going to close down, but he just pulled up at the last minute, which is a clever thing to do.
Ball is up towards the halfway line for the Cherries. They've got it with Ryan Christie. Now it comes back to Vigna, and now back on the halfway line again, and Lloyd Kelly for the Cherries, leading by 2-1 here on BBC Radio Solent. Out to the far side, the right, Adam Smith. Down the line it goes to Ouattara, who steps over it, but Billing wasn't quite on the same understanding, and it's cleared again away by Meslier with his left foot up towards the halfway line. Senesi and Bamford have had a good tussle during the game as well. Lerma helps it forward again. Billing still jogging back from an offside position. Bournemouth had no attacking outlets, and it'll be brought away by Rasmus Christensen for Leeds. Down the right hand side where Luke Ayling was waiting for the ball to come to him. Matthias Vigna said no, I'm having that, put it out for a throw.
Vigna read it well, didn't he? Spotted that one early on.
Back on this near side it goes from Ayling again, just about Rothwell and Senesi between them. Managed to get a foot in, and Bournemouth have got it back, and here's Lerma. Ouattara wants it on the right hand side if they can see him. Flag stays down against Ouattara if he can keep it in. He's desperately trying to do so on the far side. He has managed to keep it in, does brilliantly. Ouattara, right side of the penalty area, trying to get it onto his left foot. Ryan Christie teases it. Here's Billing with an overhead kick, off balance, tried his best, couldn't really get a connection on it.
Oh, anything if he could have just connected with it, Phil Bill there, but I think he's just missed it completely. A fresh air shot.
Oh, it's pretty hard, I think, when you're 6'6", to get your arms and legs in the right position there. There's a lovely ball from Christie. I don't think it was aimed for Billing to fire it overhead, but
he has changed its direction, so he did connect.
Yeah, he just got it off the outside of his foot. Even then, it might have run loose for Solanke, but too close to the keeper. Played 59 minutes. 2-1 here in Bournemouth's favour. Fulham 1, Manchester City 2 elsewhere. Manchester United leading Villa by a 1-0, and now 1-1 in our other commentary between Newcastle and Southampton. 4:30 for Liverpool against Tottenham. Tomorrow night for Leicester Everton. Can't imagine you'll be watching that, will he? And Tuesday Arsenal Chelsea. John Williams will be up at 6 tomorrow morning preparing for that game. 14 minutes gone. Vigna in the second half, I should say. Vigna gives away a throw in down underneath us, which Leeds look to take quickly. Ayling takes the ball back past his brown-haired bun tied up on the back of his hair to take the throw in. And he goes back to Koch on the halfway line. Now Verba, out to the left-hand side it goes. Harrison, in front of those 1,400 travelling Leeds fans. Harrison with a little meg on Ouattara, and a deep ball to the back post where Bamford was tussling with Kelly, and then to the back post where Nonso heads it wide of the left-hand post. Well, Bamford had his hands out there claiming his shirt was being held, which I think it was as the ball came into the penalty area, and it's headed by Nonso.
Yeah, it was a long, deep ball. Got up quite well, but no, never really going near the goal.
Not really. Jefferson Lerma did just about enough actually there to his presence put Nonto off, I think.
Well, that's the, you know, if you always say, you used to practice jumping into people. If you can't get your head on it, make sure you get a little nudge on him.
Now Jayden Anthony, I think, is about to come on for
Ouattara.
Yeah, for Ouattara. Possibly, we'll see. The board about to go up very soon.
Another one as well, Kiefer.
And Kiefer Moore. That's interesting, Willow. So I was just about to mention that Jefferson Lerma's 2 goals today that have taken him to 5 for the season. He's now the Cherries' joint home top scorer with Kiefer Moore on 4 each.
I'm also thinking set plays, height.
Yeah, possibly. We saw Kiefer Moore come on at half-time against West Ham, of course. So Anthony and Moore about to come on for the Cherries, leading by 2 goals to 1. Cleared up the field by Neto. Ouattara misses the flick on that far touchline, and now Kelly is there. And it's back to the Cherries keeper Neto once again to clear right-footed. 61 gone. Bournemouth leading by 2 goals to 1. Up towards the halfway line, heading for 39 points at the moment, which will be a very healthy cushion. They'll be 10 points clear of the drop zone with, for a number of teams, 15 available. Some will have only 12 available. Here come the changes. It's actually Matthias Vigna who's coming off, Willow, to be replaced by Jayden Anthony. And Phil Billing coming off to be replaced by Kiefer Moore.
Yeah, so interesting. Kelly going to go to left back?
Well, it looks like, Willow, Jayden Anthony has just gone straight in at left back.
Strange.
Well, it is strange, particularly when you think that Jack Stacey's on the bench. So if they were trying to change a full-back, you'd have thought maybe bring on Stacey ahead of...
Well, we've seen Lerma on a couple of occasions go to one of the centre-halves.
Doesn't look like anything's moved. Nobody else moved, did they, in the defensive ranks there? As Anthony just came on and assumed a position at left-back, so... Kiefer Moore's gone up top as the 9, and Dom Solanke's dropped in as a number 10 where Billing was. We'll come back to that in a second and work out where this is about to break down. But the Cherries making a tactical switch on 62 minutes with that double change. Neto's ball over the top, and Ouattara's got beyond his man here. Defender fell over. Ouattara right hand side, Solanke trying to run onto it. He might still get there, Solanke! He does get there, and he does tuck it in off the left hand post. And Bournemouth restore their 2-goal advantage. And Dom Solanke has 6 Premier League goals for the season. And is that going to be enough to make sure that Bournemouth are absolutely playing Premier League football next season? Solanke the scorer. Bournemouth 3, Leeds 1.
Well, so pleased for Dominic. He's over the previous games. He's worked so hard, not always got a goal, but that one was fully deserved. A little knock up by Christie, I think it was, and just pushed the ball on. Got a good angle. Are we having a check?
It's quite tight, I would say, when Ouattara picks up the initial ball over the top. So the goal is being checked here. The referee standing just outside the penalty area. It's going to be a lines one. It's going to be where someone has lent, Willow. We saw the Southampton one the other day get chalked off by an inch of the boot or so. So this is going to come down to the lines. It's impossible to see really from the camera angle whether Ouattara was offside or not.
Great finish by Dominic.
Yeah, lovely finish. We're just seeing a great shot of Phil Billing stood right by the post watching the ball come in.
Well, if that's the player we're looking at, I think he's okay.
Well, no, we're zooming in on the wrong player there for a second on the monitor we're looking at. It's Ouattara. I think, Willow, he looks okay, but looking at the placing of the feet,
it could be shoulder.
As the ball is played, Dango Ouattara, his foremost foot, the one nearest the goal, is actually in the air. So it's hard to see. It's almost blurry because the foot is in motion in the air because he's running. So we're waiting to see here. We still haven't seen any lines coming on the field now, Willow. Here come the lines. Onside, goal will stand. 3-1 it will stay as. Dominic Solanke is the scorer.
Have you got the only one who gets the onside?
There we go, stand by. There's the goal.
How do you know before anyone else?
They tell me first, Willow. Stockley Park are in my ear telling me.
Weird.
They're not actually. But it does come up on our little screen.
Yeah. I must have blinked and missed it.
There we go. So Bournemouth 3, Leeds 1. The crowd believe with 25 minutes to play, that might do it.
Yeah, I think there will be an awful lot of belief in that now.
Leeds come again though. Cherries have got to be wary here because the Leeds will not go away with their Premier League survival hopes resting on every single minute of every single game. The ball's back with Neto, away to our right, the Cherries keeper. We'll talk about substitutions below. Made a double change and a minute later scored.
But I don't think they touched the ball.
No, I'm not saying they played a key part, but sometimes the manager's golden touch can change things.
Sometimes it can. If it goes your way, you're a football doctor.
Well, Dango Ouattara did well. The ball over the top. He showed good pace to get in behind, and as he pulled it back, Dom Solanke scores his 6th Premier League goal of the season. He's still one behind Phil Billing, who's got 7. Jefferson Lerman now on 5 Premier League goals. 3rd top scorer from defensive midfield. Ball over on the far side, the Leeds left. They come again now. The big last 25 minutes for the side from West Yorkshire. Large parts of the crowd are waving those little red towel things around again. Tell you what, to be fair, it's caught on pretty well. I've got to say, I wasn't sure when I came in what they were actually all for, but it's kind of...
reminds me that, just see this.
Leeds have got it on the left-hand edge of the penalty at the minute, headed away by Lerma. That particular danger is cleared for now as they look for Bamford through the middle, and then a scissor kick volley by Senesi out of play on the far side.
It reminds me of the new camp. They wave white hankies when they're not happy.
I've seen a few people wave a white flag in the past, but not normally like this. Not normally when it's going well. 3-1. Little graphic appears on the screen saying wave your flags. They're trying new things here at AFC Bournemouth. That should be credited. Obviously some new ideas and
American ideas.
Yeah, not all of them American. I mean, just because some American people have come in, I'm sure some of the people who are already here are contributing ideas as well, but I think people have certainly cottoned on to that one today. It's good fun anyway as Kelly challenges Somerville. Referee's actually playing an advantage as Somerville goes to ground down underneath us. McKennie's ball across to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Heading for the final quarter of the game, Ouattara with the challenge on Harrison out for a throw.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't take Ouattara off in a way. You know, he's worked hard, he's looked dangerous and indeed helped for the goal.
Yeah, and hasn't played a whole lot of football, of course, in recent times. Some fleeting games of substitute appearances in the last few matches as Kiefer Moore goes sliding onto his backside and then turns as a look as that one's overhit from Leeds and goes through for a Cherries goal kick. Behind it goes, some boos from the Leeds fans on that far side, Willow. Quarter of the game left, Bournemouth 3, Leeds 1.
Well, I imagine they're staring relegation in the face. They don't want, looking for someone to blame, of course.
So this is a real good comeback from the Cherries after the last couple of home performances, particularly last week against West Ham here when people turned up off the back of that Spurs win.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a performance anyone saw coming.
We didn't see it coming, did we, at all? I didn't.
And people didn't even hear it coming, so didn't even get on air last week. Oh, I wasn't here. I'm not taking responsibility for that. I wasn't here.
I didn't have my toolkit. No,
Jordan Clark was in charge of the technicals. Far side, to be fair, he's been working all week to administratively try and get it working for today, and thankfully it is. Touch wood. 2 minutes to play. 3-1 the Cherries. Far side, Ouattara sliding in again with the challenge, and it goes out of play off Nonto for a Cherries throw-in, level with the edge of their own penalty area.
Yeah, good little tackle there, just keeping Nonto at bay.
Leeds just starting to make another couple of changes. What I was saying, as the VAR decision was being checked, by the way, Phil Billing had come off the field, obviously as substituted, and came off on the far side, so was walking his way round the back of the goal in front of the north stand. He was stood right by the net as that shot from Dom Solanke hit the left-hand post and went in. Billing was like looking down at it, almost examining it to see whether it was going to pop into the net. It made a lovely little slow-mo shot. Phil Billing walking round behind the goal.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
21 minutes to go. We're going to see Adam Forshaw, very experienced midfielder in English football, come on in a second for Leeds. Back it goes to Meslier, clears it away first time. That's gone further up than further forward, and it lands halfway inside the the Leeds half of the field, I should say, where Rocker back the far side, and now I can't repeat that song that the Leeds fans were singing. You might have picked it up in the background, but it's something like, we're not very happy with the performance. Applauded by the Cherries fans. Here goes Somerville down this right hand side now. Somerville away from Kelly, then away from Lerma. Here's Bamford, edge of the penalty area, ushered away from goal by Senesi. Great strike from Rocker and a really good save from Neto down to his left hand side. Again, pretty close to him, but travelling firmly and truly, and well done to the Cherries keeper.
Yeah, did it with the punch away. I like the way he does that. Excellent stuff. So it's away from danger. Anthony just completed the task of getting it away.
So Weston McKennie going off in central midfield, and Adam Forshaw coming on, and Patrick Bamford going off, and their top scorer Rodrigo coming on, who was eye-catchingly left out today.
Dominic's just getting information of Gary there. Not quite sure what it was apart from score and win.
Always want the technical information. We can always boil it down, can't we? Ultimately it means score and win, or if you're a defender, don't concede and win. Rocker on the halfway line, so Leeds making a raft of changes to try and inspire themselves back in the game.
I wonder if they've seen the subs coming, and that's what the Leeds fans weren't happy about.
Well, this is the second time this season that Bournemouth have been 3-1 up against Leeds. 20 minutes to play. We know how the previous one ended.
This one feel about this one, though,
doesn't feel it? No. But then Bournemouth are in total control of that game. Here come Leeds down the right-hand side with Ayling. Little 1-2 with Somerville. Right-hand side, across comes Kelly. The two players sliding together, and it's a corner to Leeds on this right-hand side off Lloyd Kelly.
It's these little instances now that you have to really concentrate. I'm sure they've been having a look at the way the defence set plays. Kiefer goes up there, right at on the centre of the near post almost. That's a big mountain to miss if they can, Leeds.
Harrison with the corner on this right-hand side for Leeds. 3-1 to the Cherries with 19 minutes remaining. And it comes from Harrison. The flick header is well saved by Neto. The rebound comes in and Neto's there again. A double save. The first one from a header and the second one on the edge of the penalty area. Nonto's shot and Neto turned it away. And the Vitality Stadium together chant Neto, Neto.
Standing ovation round us. Wow, two great saves.
Back it comes to Harrison to take another corner on this near side. Neto single-handedly standing firm. And it comes again. Moore can't get there. It's headed up in the air by Rocker. Neto tried to come through a raft of traffic, driven back into the crowd. Cleared away again by the Cherries. Enough red and black shirts back there. And Somerville recycles it for Leeds. Out on the left-hand side, Nonto trying to look for a crossing opportunity. Right-footed ball in, headed away by Senesi, only to the edge of the box. Here's Christensen, round the outside for Ayling. Drives one across the penalty area. And Rodrigo is coming in, but couldn't get his head on it. And through it goes for a goal kick.
Well, they've still got a little bit of sting in their tail.
Joe Rothwell now coming off for the Cherries, and Lewis Cook will come on. Rothwell's been carrying a bit of a hamstring, as we said, Willow. Ran himself flat out on Thursday, so not surprisingly, the opportunity to take him and get some fresh legs in.
He's one of them lads, he puts in regular performances, doesn't he? You know, and he's been getting stronger and stronger over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
And Lewis Cook, in coming on, brings up 100 Premier League appearances as well. Becomes the 12th Bournemouth player to achieve that landmark. So a nice little moment for Lewis Cook as well.
Lewis Cook, here's a little one for you. I fancy him to make a goal now he's come on. A thread through for Dominic or Kiefer.
Had a quick chat with Lewis Cook, a very quick chat in midweek. He jogged past me at Southampton on Thursday as I was waiting to do some interviews after his little warm down after the game. I said, well done, Lewis. And he sort of turned around and looked at me and went, thanks. As if so, I didn't play, but I was congratulating him as a collective.
Good warm-up.
I was congratulating the clubs. I think he thought I was congratulating him on his warm down. Anyway, it's a bit like I was mad. Ball up towards this near side, together as one and all that. Even if you haven't played, you're still a part of it, aren't you? 3-1 Bournemouth lead here. The good news is, by the way, that at Ellen Road, Leeds were already back to 3-3 by this stage of the game.
Well, don't be mentioning that.
I won't mention it again. I won't mention it again. We don't need to mention that anymore. That was a long time ago. The fireworks today have been in Bournemouth's favour, thankfully, leading them by this 3-1 advantage. Here's Nonto again. 35 yards out for Leeds. To the left-hand side it goes. Opportunity here for Harrison. It comes back to the edge of the box and Nonto again. Lewis Cook in pursuit. Nonto with quick feet. Still has it towards the byline, but he's now headed for the corner flag. And there's Ouattara putting the pressure on him. And it's off the Leeds man for a Cherries throw-in.
Well, he's not happy. And the Leeds fans aren't happy neither. Right in front of them, of course.
Referee Chris Kavanagh adamant in his immediate pointing for a Cherries throw-in over on the far side. We're just going to see a replay. It's definitely a Cherries throw off the shin of Nonto. Well, the game's turned around a long way since Bournemouth failed to turn up in the first 20 minutes. Had a penalty against them overturned. A handball that was eventually given outside the box. Jefferson Lerma scored twice. Bamford pulled it back to 2-1, but Dom Solanke made it 3 on 63 minutes. Leeds now enjoying a bout of possession as Christie is up to the halfway line. Kiefer Moore, I'm not sure if Kiefer Moore has touched the ball apart from when he slipped on his backside yet.
Yeah, he had another little confrontation.
Did he? Yeah.
Well, twice is not.
He's just doing the running as a focal point up there for the Cherries as an out ball. Christensen now down this right-hand side as we head towards 15 minutes remaining on BBC Radio Solent. Still Newcastle 1, Southampton 1, Fulham 1, Man City 2, and Man United 1, Villa 0 in the 2 o'clock kickoffs. Liverpool Tottenham to come at 4:30 in the Premier League today. Here Bournemouth 3, Leeds 1. Down the left-hand side it goes. Ouattara again doing his defensive work. Has he done well again? Well, the linesman couldn't quite see whether that had gone out or not, but Ouattara was the man on his own byline, launching it the length of the field down the flank to clear.
I'm not sure Lerma's just gone a little bit defensive-minded.
Lerma?
Yeah. Just like No, he's still in front of the two centre-halves.
Ball on this near side. Christie was beaten to it by Ayling. It runs now loose in the centre of the field for Forshaw towards the edge of the box. Forshaw's cross hits his own man on the back. Verba. Senesi wants Neto to come, which he was never interested in doing. And eventually Senesi takes matters into his own hands. Rocker and Moore having a good battle as well in that aerial ball. And then Solanke is fouled by Rocker, and it will be a free kick. And Kiefer Moore is now down, holding his cheek on the halfway line.
Tomlik as well.
Yeah, Solanke's also down, flat out. Being picked up by Rocker. Solanke taking the assistance of the Leeds man, getting back to his feet. Kiefer Moore still sat down though on the centre spot. 14 minutes to play. 3-1 in favour of the Cherries. And Leeds at the moment, their 3 seasons stay in the Premier League.
It would be so nice to go into the next sequence of games with 39 points.
And you still won't stay there safe with 39 points, will you? Absolutely not. Going level on points with Chelsea, will as it stays at the moment. Bournemouth are going up to 13th in the table.
That is quite incredible. I've got friends who are Chelsea fans, and they actually mentioned to me 4 weeks ago, just when Frankie came in, listen, we're not out of relegation problems yet. I said, you've got 39 points.
It's funny, isn't it? If Chelsea had started slipping a couple of weeks earlier, as Kiefer Moore's back on his feet, players restarted. And the ball is in the Leeds right-back position at the moment, where Anthony charges down a clearance and Leeds get a throw.
Amazing little turn-up, Anthony at left-back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Newcastle have scored a disallowed goal against Southampton, so VAR cancelling out a Newcastle goal. So it remains 1-1 there, as Kiefer Moore, having just recovered from a blow in the face, has just taken a ball full in the face and now doesn't quite know what day of the week it is. He's rocking and rolling everywhere. Cherries fans claim a corner, but they don't get one as the ball is cleared away by Leeds down the right hand side. Lerma tried to pick it up 30 yards out again, but Leeds have won it back. Kiefer Moore is just about regaining his senses, I think. Still bowling about all over the place. And now down the right hand side they try and put Somerville away. Lloyd Kelly comes across again. The two players lock up together, and Somerville is judged to have fouled Lloyd Kelly by the assistant referee. Cherries throwing.
That was all about upper body strength there. The little fella was always going to have a problem to wrestle with Kelly.
Just looking at Kiefer Moore, I mean, I imagine he's taken plenty of whacks in his time, Willow, but he's having just recovered from an elbow to the cheek and gets the ball full in the mush.
When you get one in the dial full on, it does knock your head off. You're like,
it's knocked his very carefully sculpted hair out of place as well.
Your hair stars all ringing your hair.
12 minutes left, 3-1 the Cherries on the precipice of making sure of Premier League survival. I think people thought that maybe one more point might do it. Again, Gary O'Neill, I guarantee, won't say they're safe after the game, because they'd be moving to 39 points. They'd be 10 clear of Leicester, who would only have 15 more available starting when they play Everton. That's 18th against 19th on Monday night, or tomorrow night it is, of course. That is absolutely huge, isn't it? The winners of that would go out of the bottom 3 above Forest. Ball is with Leeds at the moment on the right side of their own penalty area. Of course, they take points off each other, then the likes of Leeds and Forest would love it. A bit like Leeds and Leicester did in midweek. They took points off each other. So
yeah,
two teams losing ground.
That's what will come up. There'll be a couple of draws, and that can kill you as much as the win.
Cherries on the defensive side of things at the moment. Senesi, just with Rodrigo sneaking up on him on the edge of the penalty area. Turn full circle. Solanke's fouled by Verba inside the Bournemouth half. Free kick. Well, Bournemouth have played 2 games more than Chelsea by the end of this one. Chelsea's one of the ones they catch up is at Arsenal, so you're going to be safe to say that might be hard to get something out of. Then Bournemouth play Chelsea next week, so if they could win that one, suddenly finishing above Chelsea would be absolute madness. They paid £100 million for Enzo Fernandez.
Unbelievable.
Cherries have got the free kick inside their own half at the moment. Neto, who's made a number of saves today. Again, comfortable saves, you'd say, most of them, but still important saves. They can lift a team, lift a crowd.
The flash one with his hand was quite a good one, with the flick on.
Lerma into the right corner of the penalty area. For Bournemouth to win the game, the next biggest bonus they could get here is Jefferson Lerma to score a hat-trick. Here he is on the ball now, 25 yards out, plays in Dongo Watara, edge of the area. Lerma's still waiting. They shout shoot every single time he gets the ball. Instead he played a poor ball into Moore, runs to the right-hand side and Lewis Cook. In comes the cross. Kiefer Moore has headed it over the bar from 6 yards. A glaring miss, maybe befitting of the fact that he hasn't played much football recently. Kiefer Moore should absolutely be scoring.
And who crossed it? Cookie. Told you he's going to make one. That was his chance.
Yeah, Kiefer Moore has to score, Willow.
Oh, anything down, it's a goal, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got between the two defenders, and he's got the power. He's actually done well from 6 yards to get it over the bar. A diving header forward.
Yes, he has done well to get it over the bar.
Anthony wins possession back inside his own half, and then he's pulled back by Forshaw.
That's a booking.
Has to be a yellow card. Absolutely has to be a yellow card for Forshaw. Anthony was skipping past him. Forshaw just dragged him to the ground. How is that not a yellow?
We're almost 3-on-3. We had a chance of breaking on goal.
And it's just an attack-stopping moment. Jefferson Lerma's just taking a swig of a sports drink down there. Kiefer Moore's gone down again here. I'm not sure if he's still feeling the effect, Willow, of possibly.
If you get it, your neck's all loose and that, you can get it. Does knock the stuffing out of you.
And of course, that could be a mitigating factor for that miss a minute ago. If he's still seeing stars.
Yeah, maybe we were being too hard on him. Yeah.
Just to update you, by the way, Newcastle, I didn't even have time to tell you they'd gone 2-1 up. They've now gone 3-1 up on Southampton at St James's Park. Newcastle 3, Southampton 1. So I think the last rights are being read. No, I'm not sure where I got that from. The last rights are being read for Southampton in the Premier League. We look at the bottom of the table as it's
Keeper's going to come off.
It's coming off, Keeper. I think they have to be safety first with that. It was a real hefty whack. I mean, getting the ball in the face is one thing, but it was absolutely hammered into his face.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too far away, was he?
No.
Neither.
So Kiefer Moore's having to go back off here, which is a real shame for him, because people will look at that chance that he missed, and he doesn't look actually in a brilliant way as he goes off there. He's walking off, but walking off a little bit wobbly.
Hopefully it'll clear up pretty quick.
So Anton Semenyo is on. So there will be some concussion protocols that have to be implemented for Kiefer Moore now by the medical staff. Just to update you, by the way, those goal scorers at Newcastle were Callum Wilson got another one, and Theo Walcott own goal. Semenyo immediately in the game. He's looking for his first Premier League goal. Good opportunity in the remaining 8 minutes here against a Leeds team who look beaten, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to say.
Man City are going top as it stands, of course, with their scoreline leading by 2-1 against Fulham. They'll overtake Arsenal onto 76 points, with Arsenal to play Chelsea on Tuesday. City, of course, still have a game in hand on Arsenal as well. Newcastle at the moment will stay third on 65. Manchester United in fourth on 63. They've got away from Spurs now, who are 9 points behind, and Villa will stay in sixth. They'll miss the chance to go above Spurs, but they're level on points. Liverpool 7th ahead of their game against Spurs. 4:30 today. Leeds down the right hand side. Ayling's low cross hits Lloyd Kelly and goes behind. That'll be a Leeds corner on this near side with just under 7 minutes remaining. Bournemouth leading Leeds 3-1. Lerma with 2, Solanke with the third. Bamford had pulled it back to 2-1 for Leeds in the first half.
Need to get heavy concentration here. Kiefer going off. We've got no down a big man. Dominic's got into his spot on the near post.
Neto's been called into action the last couple of set pieces as Harrison whips this corner into the near post. Neto won't be needed there. It's a poor corner headed away by Adam Smith for Bournemouth at the near post. Then Forshaw back down this right hand side for Leeds, headed away again by Adam Smith and out for a throw-in by the corner flag, which is taken quickly by Harrison to Rocker on this near side. Harrison will whip the ball in. That'll be straight into the hands of Neto, who falls on it in his 6-yard box.
Yeah, the old wasting time ball. You used to do that when you caught one.
Well, time wasting wasn't a thing back in
that school
in the 1990s when I was playing. It's emerged since then. They waste time in school matches now, you know. That's the thing. When you talk to parents of youngsters who play the game, all of the nonsense you see in matches, it filters down to under 8s, under 7s. They're doing it all. Going into huddles before the game.
I can remember wasting time when I was 10.
Here goes Christie. We'll come back to that down the left-hand side. Bournemouth have broken away. Christie pulls it across the penalty. It wasn't a great ball. Solanke was coming in at the far post, and Leeds are able to clear it away. But Ryan Christie just got the final ball wrong. Solanke managing to smile, but wanted it on a plate.
Well, he did. And Christie should have chopped it back. He should have had it hit for the penalty spot. Didn't happen.
Jack Stevens is coming on in a second, I think, for the Cherries. Just getting some instructions from Neil Moss, Cherries goalkeeping coach and set-piece monitor. 3-1 Bournemouth lead here with around about 5 minutes to play on BBC Radio Solent. We'll stay on air to bring you the reaction as the Cherries give away a free kick. deep inside the Leeds half of the field. The bottom of the table at the moment, as it stands in the live table, Southampton bottom with 24 points. They're going to be 6 points adrift with only 4 matches remaining. Everton 28, Leicester 29. They're the bottom 3. They play each other tomorrow night. And Forest just above the drop, 1 point clear on 30, and Leeds on 30. So we'll stay only 1 point clear of the drop at the moment. Bournemouth are going 10 points clear of the drop as it stands at the moment, with most of the teams below them only having 12 points available, which means that Bournemouth could mathematically book safety with a victory over Chelsea next weekend. In it comes from the back post from Harrison for Leeds, nodded down towards Rodrigo, and it runs through against Neto. And of all the big teams below, the big team they've beaten the most is Chelsea.
I know, we've had some great battles with them, haven't we? Some great goals as well over the years.
I would say the away game earlier in the season was one of the more one-sided contests between the two. Chelsea won easily, 2-0 up after about 10 seconds, and then Bournemouth never back in the game really. As Christie has it in the centre circle for the Cherries here, he's fouled by Somerville. I thought we were going to see Jack Stevens, but actually we're going to see the other Jackster. We're going to see Jack Stacey. Come on, he's got his bib off now down there.
Does he take Smithy off just in case?
Yeah, they probably will. Just when he didn't start obviously against Southampton the other night, so he's not going to be physically, I wouldn't think, running too low. As Senesi plays a long crossfield ball looking for Ouattara, which is chested back by Verba to his goalkeeper Meslier. 3 minutes remaining. We're on air this afternoon after this game to bring you all the reaction. Do stay with us. If you're listening on BBC Sound, you can carry on listening as well via your smart speaker to all the reaction with Jono, Willow and Joe Tessam. The ball out of play from Leeds, a long ball over the top, a few jeers from the West Yorkshire faithful as that one goes through for a Cherries goal kick.
To be fair, they're all staying behind, aren't they? There's nobody leaving the Leeds fans.
You're right, actually. Yeah, that is still full, that section on the far side. I don't know if it's because they're
waiting to say something.
I was going to say they might have something to say at the end of the game. Yeah, let's just say. Javi Gracia, their manager, who's on a flexible contract. They didn't want to say short-term Leeds, on a flexible deal, so no one quite knows how long that lasts for. Javi Gracia, as the ball goes out for another throw-in on this near side, and here comes the Cherries change. Jack Stacey on, and it's actually Dom Solanke who's going to be protected for these last few minutes.
Well, give him a big ovation as well. Fantastic.
Solanke scored the Cherries' third, his 6th Premier League goal of the season, to seemingly make sure of the points here with 2 minutes to play. And Solanke takes the applause around the ground, and Jack Stacey will come on. And the finish for the winner, Solanke with an excellent finish low across the keeper, in off the left-hand post. Ouattara played a good role in it as well. And Solanke, after a busy week, has done a lot of running in the last 7 days. West Ham, Southampton, and now today.
Yeah.
And he will get a couple of minutes left on the bench as Leeds.
Stacey's gone to left back.
Yeah, Stacey's gone to left back, you're right, and Jayden Anthony has pushed himself further forward down the left-hand side. Lloyd Kelly has it on this near touchline, just didn't quite notice Rodrigo sneaking up behind him there, and has to go back to Neto, the Cherries keeper, who I'm sure will be frustrated to have lost the opportunity of a clean sheet today with the lax defending or lack of communication that enabled Patrick Bamford to score for Leeds, but thankfully Bournemouth have popped 3 in at the other end. We are going to try, by the way, I've spoken to the club as the ball goes out of play from Leeds for a Cherries throw and halfway. We are going to try to speak to Jefferson Lerma after the game. Jefferson Lerma is not a willing interviewee, and not just I think his English, as we've said many times, is a lot better, but I just think he doesn't really like doing interviews, so he's very hard to persuade. They're going to try and persuade him today, having scored 2.
Oh, if you can't get it today,
exactly,
you got no chance.
So we're going to try. Let's see what his English is up to. You might remember a promotion celebration interview I did with him where we had to edit out half of it because he swore. We managed to get a few words together that were broadcastable.
I didn't know you knew Colombian swear words.
No, they were English swear words. They obviously picked up around the place. Coming towards the 90-minute mark, Andre Mariner stands poised to tell us how much added time there will be between Bournemouth and the 3 points that will bank them Premier League football for next season. Not mathematically, but realistically. Ailing down the right-hand side for Leeds. 3-1 Bournemouth lead. There are 6 minutes still to play. Stacey on this near side. Only 2 more home games, of course, to come after this one for the Cherries. They have 4 games to play after this. The 2 visitors, Chelsea and Manchester United. Isn't it nice to have 39 points before they come to town? Ouattara over on the far side. Little ball on the right hand side looking for Christie, but Christie hadn't made the run, and it's back to Meslier in the Leeds goal. Away trip still to come, of course, for the Cherries to Crystal Palace, who will be safe in mid-table. That's going to be a dead rubber in South London. And Everton away, who knows what will be on that game by the end. There's a chance for Semenyo here into the penalty. Antoine Semenyo shot, and it's gone through Meslier. And a huge moment for Antoine Semenyo, who scores his first Premier League goal. A left-footed finish that gives Bournemouth 4-1 in front against Leeds. It might not be Mark Pugh this time, but the words are still the same. That will do it.
Absolutely fantastic. He hasn't connected with it that well, but his first touch was good out in front of him, gave him all the left side of the goal to shoot at. I think the goalkeeper was overcompensating that side, and it's actually gone through him, gone past his shoulder and underneath his arm. Goalkeeper will feel he should have done better, but fantastic for the young man to get off the mark.
That will mean a lot to Antoine Semenyo, who's had to be patient in his time here since coming from the Championship in Bristol City. A low finish, caught it well enough with his left foot, but it was straight at the keeper. It's going to be Mellier's second disappointing goalkeeping today. And Leeds, I'm afraid, well, they've not only set a new record of most goals conceded in a Premier League month, they've absolutely smashed their own record.
Yes, they have.
They've conceded 23 goals in April. They've had 2 4s against them, a 5 and a 6 in April under Javi Gracia. And things are looking very dicey for Leeds in the Premier League. They are still outside the bottom 3, but this is not a performance as the fans chant you're not fit to wear the shirt and start booing, and Bournemouth are really trying to rub it in here. They're on the move again down the right hand side with Ouattara. We played 2 of the added 6 minutes, plenty of time for Bournemouth to add further here. Ouattara trying to go around the outside. That'll be a corner over on the right hand side. I still fancy Jefferson Lerma for a hat-trick, Willow. 4 minutes left.
It'd be great to see, of course. Can we get something from a set play?
Well, I had a friend who supports Nottingham Forest text me earlier on, so I hope Bournemouth win. If you can win by 5, 6 or 7, that'd be even better. Well, goal difference could be key, and Leeds has taken a hammering this month. Back it comes to Smith from the corner, taken short in towards Jefferson Lerma with a header straight at the goalkeeper.
Everybody was willing that one in. Behind the goal, went up in, standing up, even though it just into the goalkeeper's arms.
Stick Lerma up front. Come on, stick him up front. In the way that you used to go up front, Willow, in desperate times. Get up there. 4-1 up. The towels are being waved again around the stadium. It does look good. I'm going to say it does look good when it goes well. It's better than the clapper things they make because they're quieter.
Yeah, much
it just
better.
Looks good.
Much better.
Balls back to Meslier. So your reaction at Solent Sport on Twitter, 81333. Start your message with the word Solent if you're texting us. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Bournemouth 4, Leeds 1. 2.5 minutes still to play of the added 6. Gary O'Neill is still out there on the edge of his technical area, urging his players to close down, snap away at Leeds, and still maybe turn the ball over and create one more chance. As Anthony does exactly that on the halfway line, off foreshore. And it's going to be, I mean, for the teams involved, it is nerve-shredding stuff. Southampton have got too much to do. 3-1 down away at Newcastle, you'd sure. The Bournemouth fans are now singing 4-1 on your big day out. A bit of retribution from previous encounters between the two. Leeds haven't been in the bottom 3, by the way, at the end of a match round all season. Are they going to slip towards the dreaded bottom 3 when it matters the most? They still got it on the left-hand side. Nonto and Cherries are. Ryan Christian with some silky skills over on that far side. Adam Smith clears it away. Leeds still coming here, trying to restore a bit of pride to the scoreline. They loft the ball into the penalty area. Senesi will head it away. And now Lerma on the edge of his own box. And Senesi will clear it. Now there's loads of room for Jayden Anthony in the middle if he can release it. And Ouattara is all alone on the right-hand side. Semenyo in the middle. Jefferson Lerma and Anthony trying to get up in the box as well. Stacey arriving too. Here's Ouattara, goes past one, onto his right foot, breaks to the edge of the box. Jefferson Lerma has it, might as well shoot, plays it in instead to Ouattara. It's all very congested, too many white shirts back there. Ouattara ran out of steam, I think, as well. And then Leeds have given it straight back, but they've won a free kick actually in the end. Jefferson Lerma had 1 millisecond there to shoot.
He did, it was just like you say, and then the white wall just come up in front of him and he couldn't get his shot away.
1 minute of added time to play. Cherries 4, Leeds 1. We are staying up. Chant the Bournemouth fans here who've come out for the Sunday afternoon. If you had a ticket for this one, it was going to be eagerly anticipated. I don't think anybody predicted a few weeks ago that this would be the game where Bournemouth would bank their survival in the Premier League, as Christie's still flying into challenges on the far side out for a throw-in. And yes, those who prefer the mathematical, scientific, absolute certainty, it isn't over the line from that point of view yet. But it could be next weekend now.
Yeah, we've all got that to look forward to. A little day off tomorrow for a lot of people too.
Bank holiday weekend, a chance to celebrate. Left-hand side, Cherries have got it. Leeds have got it with Nonto at the moment. We really are in the dying embers now. I make that the 6 minutes played. Leeds still coming down the left-hand side, trying to reduce the arrears with the one final attack. It will be a corner to Leeds. That will be the final play of the game with the 6 minutes already played.
Yeah, the lads just want to see this through now. Is that Christie who's got a bit of a bang and gone down?
It's Lewis Cook actually below.
Is it Lewis Cook?
It doesn't matter. The whistle goes, and make no doubt about it, it might not quite be mathematical yet, but the Reds are staying up. Bournemouth will be playing Premier League football next season. They move to 39 points in the table, 10 clear of trouble. They've dispatched old foes Leeds today by 4 goals to 1. 2 from Lerma, 1 for Solanke, 1 for Semenyo. That will do it.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So pleased for the players, manager, the staff, and especially the fans. It's been up and downs at times, and we all had a little bit of a worry, but we just need results to go our way over the next week, and we may not even have to win another point. But I'm sure the way this team is playing, the football they're playing, they'll want to go out and finish in style.
We look forward to welcoming you back here next Saturday.
Well, there's an interesting standoff between the Leeds players on the far side, who are standing there not really applauding their own fans. They're standing there, most of them, just looking at the Leeds fans with their hands on their hips. Quite a few of the Leeds fans have got their arms out. There's quite a few are huddled in the front row trying to pass on a message. But very interesting exchanges there between the Leeds fans and their supporters, who've travelled a very long way today to see their side really get dismantled by 4 goals to 1. They started well in the first 20 minutes, but from then on, Bournemouth were in full command and win by 4 goals to 1. I'm sure there will be a few extra drinks today for the Cherry supporters with that bank holiday tomorrow, but it's as though everyone came for Willow, and will even you say that 39 points is going to be enough?
Well, I'm sure it is, you know, but it's just, you just need that numbers game to play out right, and that was a strange one. I've never seen players go over to the crowd and just stand there with their hands on their hips before.
Yeah, well, Leeds have got bigger battles to come for them. They've got 4 games to play, save their Premier League status, starting away at Manchester City, followed by Newcastle. Goodness me. But for Bournemouth now, they will have the luxury of their final 2 home games, which are crackers. Chelsea next Saturday, and then Manchester United a couple of weeks afterwards, knowing that the result from those will not be crucial to their Premier League survival. Gary O'Neill, Tommy Elphick, Sean Cooper, the coaching staff and the players lead the applause for the supporters. They're going to do a full lap here. Steve Fletcher in amongst it as well, you'll be surprised to know. Marcus Tavernier has come bounding on as well, moving a little bit gingerly, out with a hamstring injury today. But at 2 for Jefferson Lerma, an unlikely double goal hero, put the Cherries in charge. Dom Solanke on 63 restored a 2-goal parity after Bamford had scored for Leeds. And then a memorable moment for Antoine Semenyo in added time as he scored his first Premier League goal, which Meslier should have saved. But 39 points, what a healthy position for the Cherries to be in. Contrasting emotions across the south coast this evening as Southampton have lost at Newcastle. Their position deepens at the bottom of the table. Surely they can't get out. The Cherries, though, will be playing top flight football again next season. They've done it. They've beaten Leeds here by 4 goals.